Kia ora and good afternoon, and welcome along to the Sal's NBL on a Friday afternoon rather. Anzac Day, commemorating those who served both Australia and New Zealand. Hope you've had a good morning. Afternoon hoops ready to roll here at Rodney Green Arenas in Hawke's Bay. Sky Broadband Rapid League between the Hawks and the Bulls. Casey Frank on hand for this one. Another chocker block of round action coming this way.
There is a lot of basketball on. Double header on Anzac Day, a triple header tomorrow, another double header on Sunday. The basketball is bouncing all weekend long as we take a look at the Rapid League standings, where the Hawke's Bay Hawks have moved up into 5th place with some Jackson Ball cameos, but not fast enough to catch up to those Saints and Nuggets at the top of the table moles.
Everyone is playing for points for and against in the Rapid League, not just to get the wins in the Rapid League ladder, but also for the Sal's NBL ladder. Those points for and against count in the main game as well. And those results go a long way as you see the Bulls there in 8th spot on the Rapid League ladder. We've had some thrilling Rapid League games of late. Here's a starting five for the Franklin Bulls. A double overtime last night between the Jets and the Fire in the Rapid League. Vano, Coca Gray, Maile, Four and Anderson running out there for the Bulls in this game. As Ethan Rusbatch looks on. Marcel Jones named in the Rapid League team, but not wearing the Rapid League strip, so don't expect him to play in this game. And he will be running with just 6 players, 1 sub for the Franklin Bulls. Starting 5 for Kane Hokianga and the Hawke's Bay Hawks. Jacob Murphy, Harry Keeley, Scott Kara and Eagle. It is a proven 5 for the Hawks in this game.
And a squad that executes quite well down the stretch. If it's a close one, they've been showing a great proficiency and efficiency out of the sideline, out of bounds at the end of games. Going to be interesting in this game which team's defense is going to be able to step up just a bit. You see those points per game, that is 10th and 11th in the Rapid League in terms of points allowed. Both teams get up quite a few shots pretty close to one another, but those steals by the Bulls doubling up the Hawke's Bay efforts. Will the turnover game come into play in this one? Or can the Hawke's Bay take care of the rock against a very aggressive Franklin Bulls defense?
And your referees, your match officials, your barter card refs, Brad Clive, Sasha Nicholson and Danny Alcouge for the Sky Broadband Rapid League game. Campbell Scott has been a great addition for the Hawke's Bay Hawks. He's averaging double digits in Rapid League and also over 12 points a game in the Sal's NBL as well. Shooting at a high clip, 43% in Sal's NBL action, 10 attempts as well. He has been a great pickup.
10 attempts is a fantastic amount of shots to be able to get up, and his range hasn't increased per se, but his consistency has. The ability for the Hawks to bring him off the bench has been a boon. It's going to be a boon for the Rapid League squad today. And some Anzac Day action as we're about to tip off as Brad Clive throws it up.
That's Keeley and the Hawks with the ball to start with. Scott with the ball. Jacob Murphy. Ezra Eagle. Defended well by Maile. And with the shorter haircut, Alessiale Maile with the last few weeks. That 3 is off. Keeley on the glass.
Good aggression by Harry Keeley on the glass and going straight at Casey Lawful. He's been one of the more physically aggressive players in the Rapid League and has been just a big effort, or a big energy to down low for the Bulls.
Harry Coca Gray managing to get that to go in. Tough shot. Campbell Scott now with the ball for the Hawks.
Strong move by Coca Gray. Love that attack and paint penetration early in the game.
Backdoor cut, almost pulled off, but the Bulls just got a hand to it. Stepping through is Anderson. A 4 with the ball. Left it short. I'm going to push my barrow here and talk about the rapid 555.
See if it's today the day.
Been checking the box scores of most Rapid League games. Some players have come close to the 5 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. But on an all-round Rapid League performance, it's been tough to do in this abbreviated form of the game.
And for the fans at home, that's a conversation me and Wolves are having.
It's the only one that really anyone's having, actually, when it comes to that.
Around.
No one else has really picked up on it.
A 3x5 needs to be a triple-double. That's our triple-double. We're waiting for it to happen as Keeley gets the nice feed from Scott, finishes at the rim. Nice set, nice action. Good execution early in the ball game for the Hawks to tie things up.
Varno going to the cup with the left on the right-hand side.
Nice explosive move. Really aggressive at Harry Keeley, forcing him to move his feet, and he couldn't quite keep up with the drive as the Bulls take the lead again.
Shot clock down to 5 now. Tough drive. And Campbell Scott gets the bucket.
Solid defense being played there as Jacob Murphy plays more defense, and will he get up in transition?
Tries to put it down, and he's met by Male. No whistle, and Hawke's Bay have it. Still plenty of time, but they turn it over. Passing the 4, getting in the way there of Anderson. And we're going back the other way, and we've got a foul by Mile.
Cody Carr got taken out by somebody in the crowd. That foul just completely takes out his legs, hits the deck. A little bit of sloppiness on those last couple of possessions, turnover to turnover. Love the rim attack by Jacob Murphy in transition, trying to give the home crowd something to cheer about. Fantastic defense by Mile, and that lifted the energy for about a 35-second flurry. Like both squads get involved.
First is good from Kobe Carter. 8 points, 5 rebounds, 1.8 assists on average. Kobe Carter, proven performer for the Hawks off the bench for a few seasons now.
Yeah, he's been contributing early in the season as a starter in the NZNBL as well. And part of this nice young core the Hawks have been able to put together over the last few years as Carter gets that foul in the baseline.
Arnold got the bump. Feeling the effects of that little bump as well. Probably not so little, but it's Kobe Carter.
It always feels little when you're watching on the screen, but when those 6'5" guys who are just under 100 kilos start banging into you, it's slightly a bit worse.
Not helping Christian Varno at all with that, am I? Anderson on that skip pass, up fake, stepping through, and he can't get the roll at Rodney Green's arena. Rodney Green Arenas, I should say. Varno, though, wide open. Bulls historically not known for their three-point shooting in both forms of the game.
Historically or currently.
That's true.
That is not what they're trying to do, even with Ethan Rusbatch in the fold.
Eagle in trouble, kicks it out. Scott strokes it. He is known for the 3-ball.
I like the way he's approaching the Rapid League. He's already a valued performer at the NBL level, but he's come out here, tries to get everyone else involved, but when the opportunity comes to shoot, he takes it.
The 3 miss, Keeley with the board.
Not quite going to be able to get the shot clock all the way down, so going to be another opportunity for the Bulls.
Still plenty of time. 6 seconds now. Scott working his way in. Fall away. Rebound. Coca Gray. That 3 is good. Varno getting it done. I think that was Peyton Hughes rather. But it's Varno with that 3-ball.
Well,
he knocks it down, and that closes the gap to 2.
Just an excellent defensive possession by the Bulls, and good understanding of trying to get back into offense for the limited amount of time. The attack on the basket, drawing multiple defenders, and Christian Varno spaces out to get that catch and shoot on the wing. And it was a fast release, not quite as fast as Fiber. You get it from Sky Broadband. Fiber started from $50 a month for the first 12 months. You can get that offer at skybroadband.co.nz or call 09-525-5555.
One of my favorite things about this is just the way you segue basketball into a Sky Broadband Fiber promo. It's one of the best, and the floor is yours when it comes to the sales deal.
Well, a large veggie pizza, there's no segues needed. It speaks for itself. Not only are you getting the best of the sauce, the marinara, the mozzarella cheese, but all the goodness of the veggies as well. I gotta say, I do like a half and half veggie, half pepperoni.
Getting that fiber.
You get a little bit of each world. But I also have to be honest, kids, not a fan of the veggie side.
No, of course not.
Strange, I don't know why.
Because it's green. There's green on it.
Not big fans of capsicums.
No, fair enough too.
All my capsicum people out there, come back. Let's bring Moles back. I can tell he's against the capsicum.
No, I don't mind a capsicum, but you're really pushing capsicums up the hill when you're fighting with your kids over eating the rainbow of food.
Always got to pick your battles.
Second quarter underway. Anderson. Now the Bulls are hitting their threes. They take the lead on that one.
Well, excellent set coming out of the timeout, the quarter break, and running with a lot of pace, a lot of speed. Anderson, that sets up for that step back, catch and shoot, and back-to-back triples have the Bulls in front up with a very quickness.
Murphy, strong. A little too strong on the shot though. And just the walk there from Anderson. That was a Harry Coker Gray assist on that three to end the first quarter, just to confirm that. Bulls turnover.
Jacob Murphy attacking the rim consistently, like that trying to bend the defense, but needs to start getting those to go. We'll find those shooters out of the weak side.
Lighted more in the game. He finds Kobe Carter, who makes the move, and that's easy work for Kobe Carter in the key.
Understood he had the mismatch, used his size to get down to the dots, and just rise up and finish. Basketball's a game of space. You can get to your spot before they can keep you from it, you win.
Nafour, and one for KC Nafour.
First touch of the game, offensively. Looking at the basket, he's done some nice work on the glass, and has been that defensive deterrent. The backside of the defense, but off the screen and roll here, straight into the body of Keeley, overpowering the high schooler, as he should. Got a few years on him. Good aggressive finish, takes the bump, hits the bucket, and just misses out on the old-fashioned three-point play. Initiating the offense, Jacob Murphy on the weak side.
Now screen for a cutting Moore. And this is good. Campbell Scott again, he's got 8.
Drains it. Showing off the range today. I just wonder if you're getting hot in the Rapid League, is that going to carry over to the NZNBL? How often do you get that little break and it keeps going? Well, Peyton Hughes did that a few weeks ago.
Speaking of Hughes, missed the handle on that one. Matches up though with Murphy. Some of that defense and just a little bit too much there on the sideline. He's called for the foul.
It feels like Murphy made a bet with somebody in the crowd that he was going to get a dunk in Rapid League, because he is just coming at the rim, showing off some of that athleticism.
And he won't get an opportunity for a little while as he sits with Keeley. Being the Rapid League coach. Grew up on an army base, so Tano is commemorating today, this morning, Anzac Day. And there is Ezra Eagle stepping through, unguarded with the layup.
Really nice use of the ball fake on that handoff action. Spurs the corner, and there's no one to be seen.
Vano off the glass is good.
Good penetration of the defense, right to the teeth of it. Hawks have to be a bit stiffer earlier. Can't get it. Let Vano get that deep to the finish off the glass.
Crossover, Kobe Carter, reach in there.
Good call from the weak side. Brad Clive officiating that one. And Carl with a really nice initial penetration move off the dribble. Bulls defense has no answer but to give the hack.
To right of Moore. Picking it out. Isaac Allen, late replacement for Clifton Bush Jr. Clifton Bush the third out with stitches today, so
I feel like the stitches are getting unfairly blamed. I feel like it was the cut or whoever forced the cut, but we can't put that on the report, I suppose.
I've got to say stitches, Casey. I'm just going off the player status report and the amendment to it. Zion Anderson to the cup him in.
16 apiece coming down to the final minute of the quarter. Need to find some offense. Outside of Campbell Scott, he's been electric.
He's been fire. Heat check, no! It goes in, Campbell Scott. Another three, that's his third.
He had a little Steph Curry lead on that one, feeling pretty good about himself. 7 minutes, 3 triples. This man is on fire.
Varno. Gone off glass again, just need a little bit more. Front of the rim for Anderson. 35 seconds to go in the half.
I thought the Hawks might want to go 2 for 1 there. Instead, they slow it up. Both teams still have their player timeout.
Eagle turning on the 4, and that's just great defense until he was called for the foul.
The step through, the footwork. That's where you go. Looks where he starts that possession all the way out, but look at that step through. Really nice. Gets the shoulders as Malfoy turned up. He mildly protests with body language, but accepts the decision of the officials. As we all should do a better job of that, Andrew. When I say we should all, I'm speaking mostly to myself on Wednesday nights.
Campbell Scott's got 11 in this half.
An efficient 11.
Tyson Thata-Paese has the Rapid League scoring record. And that's 27.
Just topped it off at all-time leading scorer in the Rapid League, 26 points, the single game record. Thank you to Justin Nelson, who came in with a real-life text.
He is so excited to call basketball games. He's here early. And he's just excited to listen to us call basketball games.
As he should be.
He's shaking his head. He must have read something on the internet he disagrees with.
It could be an example for all of us. There's the player timeout. Let's do it. That's it.
So 10.6 seconds to go. Bulls have the ball. Looking to run something here. Trying to find the 4. It's just a little hard for Coker Gray to find.
And we're going to get another player timeout here. With about 4 seconds to go. Might have got to see the 4.8. They're getting back on the clock. Let's see. There is the player timeout. Gives you another chance.
5.3. NZ player timeout. Get your ticket to the big game. Use that QR code for a chance to win tickets. Quickly running out, I'm reliably told by Casey Frank.
There's still some available, but you got to get that requested as quickly as possible. Get a chance to the big game. NZ supporting the next generation of Kiwi ballers. You get the ticket to the big game. Who knows? One of those young ones coming with you might be looking at their future professional.
Here we go, turnover. That'll end it for the half as Varno almost flipped it up and in, but the defense there of Ryder Moore to shut that down sees us go to half time. It will be the Hawks with a 21-16 advantage after 2 quarters of basketball. Rodney Green Arenas, Hawke's Bay.
How about the hustle of Ryder Moore? Gets that turnover, smacks that shot right out of there. Thought maybe he was going in to talk a little bit of smack, but he actually goes for the help up afterwards. 21-16, the halftime score. And we've seen a lot of offense early, but that last minute or so, we saw to see the defense tighten up. Campbell Scott doing the damage from deep, 3 triples. Christian Varno. There's a little bit of help from Zion Anderson. They're both attacking the cup very nicely. On to the rebounds. Harry Coker Gray, one above everyone. It's been spread out on the assists. Rebounds here. Keeley with 3, Norfolk with 4, dominating the glass. Help from Coker Gray and Murphy, respectively.
The 4's working on that rapidly. 555. He just needs 5 assists.
It's always going to be one of them. It's 2 steals for Harry Coker Gray as well. And overall, The Bulls able to shoot 43% from the field. The Hawks up there at 53%. Most importantly, 4 for 8 from the inside the arc, 3 for 5 from deep. All 3 of those by Campbell Scott. The Bulls 2 for 4 from deep. Unable to hit their own shot from the free throw line. 4 turnovers for the Bulls, 3 for the Hawks. Whoever cuts that down in the second half going to give themselves a little bit of an edge. And thanks for all that information from Chemist Warehouse, the official stats partner of the Sal's NBL.
Hawks shooting 53% in this first half of basketball. And powered by Campbell Scott's 3 threes. 3 of 5. Good balanced lineup in Rapid League for the Hawks.
It's the second time the Hawks have been a 5-point lead. Bulls are going to have to find a way to slow down Keeley on the glass, who you see in the picture there, but Scott on the perimeter. They can get that ball out of Campbell Scott's hands with a bit more frequency. They should have the opportunity to claw back into this game.
Third quarter, and Sky Broadband Rapid League underway. Hawks and Bulls. Home team enjoying a 5-point advantage. Murphy. Just a little slack there from Campbell Scott with the turnover. Varnock. Coker Gray. Milet. Match up with Ezra Eagle here. Sees a triple team. Tried to find it 2-4. That's the second time. The pass has been way too hot for Casey LaFleur in the key.
And it's the right look. Not a lot of distance between those two, maybe a couple of meters, and that was sent over with some spice. Unfortunately for Walport, because he was pretty open.
Nice action. Campbell Scott just lost the handle.
Nice hand from the weak side. Anderson there, able to force the turnover, but going to do in retaliation on the transition opportunity.
Dropping it back for the pop from Milet. Murphy puts down the board. Murphy with 3 rebounds now. He's looking for his points.
Yeah, I want to see him get those rim attacks good. I like the pressure he's put on the rim. We just need to find something going though. It's been a bit slow here for the first minute and a half plus for both teams.
The floor shows too hard on that one. Four, always in the action. And that will be foul number 2 encasing the 4. Just a little bit of Friday afternoon funk for you in the third quarter at Rodney Green Arenas. Scott, deep 3, back of the iron.
To be fair, I feel a little bit like I'm stuck in a groove. I need to hit the next section. The players, though, they're stuck on the zeros right now. Have not scored yet in this quarter. The defenses have locked down. And as both offenses are finding those penetrating lanes, a bit tougher to come by here in the second half.
Scott, foul. Four. A little loose with it up high. The jab step, knocks down that 3 to get scoring on the way in the third.
Kobe Carr doesn't respect the jabs, keeps that space. Anderson gives a little shimmy, says let it fly. Down to a 2-point game, the Bulls work their way back in to a tight one again.
There's Jacob Murphy making the move and splitting the double.
Nice display of athleticism once again, this time not above the rim, but a little horizontal leap there. Taking the drop step, getting himself through the double team for the finish.
Varno, 2-4, met by Keeley with the block.
Walford takes a bit of contact, but the block up high is clean. The Hawks have a bucket in transition.
Ezra Eagle. They finally need him in the key, but it's too late. He gets the roll.
Well, he was open for a long time. Nobody saw him until the reversal of the ball. That let the Bulls defense come back in. Nice response from the Hawks after the Bulls cut it close. Back to 6 is the lead.
The 4, banking that in. Strong move from Casey the 4.
Just too strong for Keeley. He's got about 5 years on him, probably about 25 kilo as well. Really tries to extend, use his length, but the strength of Moafo against the bucket.
Beautiful layup. Finger roll from Kobe Kara.
This comes off that screen by Ezra Eagle with a lot of speed. Gets a bit of momentum to the basket with a pretty layup finish.
Vano, one-legged off the glass. That's pretty. Going the other way from Christian Vano.
Suddenly the offense is on the menu. Rejects the screen, kiss off the glass for 2, 4-point game again.
Keeley on the dive. Gets an unfriendly roll.
Good call there, over the back. Keeley aggressively attacking, trying to get his own miss. I love the attitude, but a bit too much contact into the back of Moafo. So that will be Bulls basketball coming the other way with 37 seconds left in the quarter.
Stepping through, kicking it out. And then we've got to travel.
The players were all concerned for the Hawks that was a foul call. They wanted to travel. Some contact afterwards. I think a nice job by official Brad Clive. Just giving a little bit of suspense before he makes the call.
Up high to Kara. Kobe Kara. Gets the roll. That's pretty. 8 points for him now, Casey Frank.
It's temporarily stopped the clock, giving the Bulls an extra half second or so. Can they get a nice look?
And Four thought about it. And that's the quarter. So third quarter is over, and the Bulls still down by 6 here, 27-23. As we showed you in their head-to-head graphic, both these teams are the high-scoring Rapid League teams going around, and it's the low-scoring one after the third quarter here.
But the defense of the Bulls a little bit more porous than what the Hawks are allowing. 29 points through 3 quarters. It's come on 52% shooting for the Hawks. They've got 10 rebounds apiece to both teams, 6 assists for the Hawks. And they've been able to force 6 turnovers. The Bulls able to even up on the triples with a little bit of activity that round, but just haven't been able to string those stops together with enough consecutive possessions to get themselves back in the ball game.
You can get yourself back in the ball game. Sky Broadband Fiber starting from just $50 a month for the first 12 months.
That was maybe the happiest moment of my commentary career. I laid it up and you knocked them down.
And you can knock down that large veggie pizza for just $31.99 using your Sky Broadband Fiber to order it using the QR code there. It's valid until Tuesday.
That is a fantastic deal.
So Jacob Murphy and the Hawks have a 6-point lead with the fourth quarter underway on the Green Arenas, Hawke's Bay. From Coker Gray, the 4 on the glass is there to give them an extra possession.
Offensive rebounds, that can get the Bulls back in the game, especially if they can hit a few more of those runners, but Hawks defense doing just enough to stem the tide.
Over Carter, met by 3 Bulls. Murphy shot clock in single digits. And Murphy with the runner. Jacob Murphy finding his group. He's got 4 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists.
He's chasing that 5x5, 3x5 actually, but nice little attack there by Jacob Murphy.
Barno trying that move again. Needs to use the glass.
I think he's caught in between looks there.
Going upstairs, back to Kobe Carter. Nice hit the play between him and Ryder Moore.
Ryder Moore. I've never seen a player want an alley-oop less than Ryder Moore on that possession right there. He smacked that. He's like, that is not what I was thinking. I'm not ready for that in the game. Kobe Kara is the recipient of the tap back, though. Gets a bit of contact on the attempt to put the ball in. See if he can't be successful from the Chemist Warehouse strike.
Lefty is good with the first. Going with the City Edition pinstripes of the Hawke's Bay Hawks. Clean look, clean beauty. Love the lavender of the Bulls as well. Certainly stepping out of their main colourway of black and yellow.
Yeah, the lavender, as Lindsay Tate said, so calming. Has not called the score sheet for the Hawke's Bay, though.
It's up to 10 now.
Starting to stretch out a bucket here. Sorely needed, preferred from deep. Hustle by the Hawke's Bay defense, really well connected. See a lot of communication out there. Active hands in lanes, passing cutters off. No real angles to penetrate with the dribble or the pass.
Let's to get the shot up. There's Van. Oh, and he banks it in. See, you've got to use the glass.
You called it moles. Third time is the charm. What a shot. Shot clock running down. A bit of a prayer gets answered here on Anzac Friday.
Carter. Oh, that is so pretty. What a cut. Backdoor from Murphy. And the pass was pinpoint from Carter.
Double backdoor cut action there. One defender, two offensive players. Jacob Murphy gets the finish, up to 6 points for him.
The four finds a cutter himself, and Anderson, he gets the roll. Pace is picking up here in the fourth. Bulls need to make a run.
I'd like to have seen Keeley maybe try and dissuade that shot with his shot blocking ability, but a nice finish because that doesn't happen.
Almost a turnover. In fact, it is a turnover. Coca Gray with the hands. Lost the handle, dropping it off. Anderson off the glass and in.
I did not know how he got that ball in.
He's
difficult angle. We have a substitution here. Clock stops for the sub. Beautiful shot. Look, he looked like he was going to go up to finish with the left and then comes back to the right.
He's got 10 now, Zion Anderson.
It's a difficult shot. Showed the range from deep.
Son of former Warrior Vinny Anderson.
Just like that. The Hawks have themselves a ball game and need a bucket here. Trying to put this one to bed.
Tipped away by Nafor. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Still plenty of time. Murphy with it. Tipped away by Anderson. And it's Keeley. Still plenty of time. Need to get the shot up. Campbell, Scott, none better. Can they secure the rebound, the Bulls? Miley, of course he can.
That's a great rebound by Halasiala Miley. Able to go up in traffic. Gives the Bulls a chance to cut in the lead again.
Kano. That's good. Banking it in.
The pace has quickened offensively. Love that transition from defense to offense. Smart sub here by Kane Hokianga. Bringing the sub in just to give his team a chance to catch their breath. It's now a one-position ball game. But what are they going to run? They need something. Haven't heard much from Campbell Scott here in the second half, if at all. Is this where they go to him when they need it most?
Cut that 10-point lead to 7. And another one. A turnover.
Had the high-low, could not get the pass through. Eagles turnover gives the Bulls a chance to tie it up with the triple.
It's their 6th turnover. Nafor, deep. Can't get that roll. Hawks survive.
Nice recovery by Keeley out of the pick and roll. Comes down low enough and has enough size to make Waffle go to that hook shot.
Both teams with their BNZ player timeouts available. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Ezra Eagle. That's good, Ezra Eagle from downtown.
Yeah, really nice decision there by Kobe Kara coming off that curl. The space out by Ezra Eagle. His defender comes in, Halasiala Male, leaves him wide open there, can't recover in time. Nice find, nice shot. Hawks, after that BNZ player timeout, they're talking over now, but it looks like they've given themselves enough breathing room, especially if they can secure another stop here.
9 points for Ezra Eagle. BNZ player timeout. Scan that QR code. Chance to get some tickets to a game near you.
Need that timeout. This one has been back and forth the last couple of minutes. The offensive explosion, both teams really finding a way to execute well. Love the pace that the Bulls have been playing with. They need to kick that up for the last couple of chances here.
bonus situation for foul shots is 3 in Rapid League, 3 team fouls in regulation. So they need a quick go here, and it's a foul. Coker Gray with a tough move. He stops the clock.
I actually thought he had the catch and shoot on the wing initially, but he goes to the drive, and Eagle actually does a nice job of rotating down, forcing him into his second action. Uses up a lot of clock. A couple of free throws here have to be made, and the Bulls need to foul quickly. Still 2 fouls for each team to give, so even on that first one, Bulls will have to foul again to send this Hawke's Bay team to the line. Nice finish on the first from the Chemist Warehouse for Coker Gray. Can he make it 2 for 2?
Leaders 4, and it's the Hawks with their BNZ player timeout. 13.3 to go.
A little bit surprised they used that one. Might have saved that until at least the inbound was happening. You don't know if they're taking that away. Instead, they're going to put that ball straight into the front court. Doesn't affect the shot clock. That shot clock will be off for the majority of the game. And it's normally an easier angle from the front court.
Nothing's comfortable when it comes to a lead in basketball when it's in single digits, but Bulls might have just to see if they can go for the steal on this action here. The staggered screen action, weaving their way through. And it's Scott and it's Arnold trying to get the foul. Wanted it the first time, had a couple goes at it.
Well, it's almost an art form. Fouling at the end of the game, you can't really foul purposefully, or at least make it look so too purposeful. It has to have the right appropriateness of force. That was always the one I struggled with. Soft touch, not my forte, or my 3 tag. Almost had the steal, they do.
The 4, pulling up for 3. Back of the iron. This 3, on the way, that's good. No player timeouts available. Coker Gray looking for a foul. And they'll do keep away really well, the Hawks. They survive a late flurry from the Bulls in the 4th quarter. And it's the Hawks with the Rapid League win here by 2, 38-36. Make it 37.
Well, that big triple late gave the Bulls a bit of a hope, but that hope could not come to the fruition of a win as Dan Green and some of the other starters welcome the Rapid League squad off the floor as they sealed that victory down the stretch. Christian Votto, what a performance. 14 points for him. Zion Anderson, 12. Campbell Scott, 11. All in the first half. Kobe Carr picks up the offense in the second. Carr, Mora with 4 and 3 assists. Hook Coker Gray, Noah 4 with 8 rebounds. Harry Keeley with 5. Ryder Moore with the 2 blocks as well. Not just 1 block, but 2. Ryder Moore passing the ball and dishing the D.
Coker Gray with that presence on the defensive end, getting 3 steals. Mano in the 4, 2 apiece. So it will be a Hawke's Bay Hawks win here. 38-37 is your final from the Sky Broadband Rapid League game. We'll be back at the top of the hour with the main game between the Hawks and the Bulls.
It's me. Should say Casey Frank twice. We should have some results already, though. People have already voted. Unless they've... I think they just changed the questions. I don't have a Hawks by one by three question, guys. No, so there's a different question. I don't think it's set up.
Tobias, what lessons have you guys taken from the last matchup between the Hawks when they beat you at home, and what will you do different in this game to try to get the win in the Hawks nest?
We've had a bit of time to adjust since that game. I mean, they came out firing. They were a young group at that time, and now they're better with two good pieces. And so we expect their best and just challenge them the best we can.
Awesome. Also, how do you plan to counteract the offensive threats on the other side with the Hawks? You got Dan Greta, one of the top scorers in the league, if not the top scorer. Then you got Daniel Coward and the young gun Jackson Ball.
We're just going to continue to focus on ourselves, our individual assignments, and at the end of the day, just play good team defense, and hopefully we come over the win.
Awesome. Hey, appreciate your time today. Tobias, have a good game. With Jackson Ball from the Big Barrel Hawks. Hey, Jackson, with the game falling on Anzac Day, does the occasion and any extra significance give any extra significance and motivation to you and the team?
Yeah, it's obviously really special getting to play on such an important day to our country's history, and hopefully we can put out a performance tonight that does it justice.
Awesome, Jackson. Also, what specific areas have you as a team at the Hawks focus on improving during training to prepare for this game against the Bulls?
Yep, it's been a really good week off. We've just worked on a lot of us, building cohesion as a group, both offensively and defensively, and hopefully that shows tonight.
Awesome, Jackson. Hey, appreciate your time today. Good luck for the game, man.
Kia ora koutou everyone, welcome along to Rodney Green Arenas in Hawke's Bay for the Sal's NBL matchup between the Hawke's Bay Hawks, who are 5-4, up against the visiting Franklin Bulls, who are 6-3. And I hope you are enjoying your Anzac Day commemorations this morning, commemorations pre-game before we went to air for these two teams. Andrew Mulligan, Casey Frank on hand for this one. Casey, two teams who are very much looking to advance themselves in this win column. And who gets the win? Well, people have decided already that the Bulls are the stronger outfit. Do you agree with those watching and voting on mitsampick.com?
I think at full strength, this Bulls team probably gets the nod, but they're not at full strength today. And an inconsistent week between both teams. I think we'll have some more focused teams coming up against each other today, but on their home court, I'm leaning towards the Hawks.
And the Bulls team, they are without one of the Cameron boys, Flynn Cameron. And they still have a strong bench. Here's how it looks, top 6 teams. Bye with the loss last night. The Jets getting up into 5th position. Now 6-4. They've been very good this season compared to the last few seasons. The Bulls there in that 3rd spot. The Saints up in top spot. The Rams go tomorrow. And Hawke's Bay on the outside looking into the playoff scenario. They're tied with the Tuatara at 5-4. And that is how the rest of the ladder shapes out with the Sal's NBL.
But the Hawks would be pretty happy about where their position is now, considering they didn't have their full roster until pretty recently. Got a lot of wins against teams like these as we take a look at the upcoming fixtures. Have another Anzac Day game coming up later on in Invercargill as the Sharks take on the Giants. A triple header of action tomorrow. Really intrigued by that Tuatara Rams matchup, even with Rob Lowe out by injury.
Giants are adding Jeremy Combs as well. He's come from Japan, placing Bryce Johnson. And some great matchups. Tuatara without Rob Lowe up against the Rams. That'll be a great game. Ayers Spy as well. Triple header tomorrow. Still games to come on Sunday as well. This is the starting 5. And Hardy, Okwera, Cameron, Ruspach, and Gloger, German at centre. And we caught up with Tobias Cameron pre-game.
All right, I'm here with Tobias Cameron. Tobias, what lessons have you guys taken from the last matchup between the Hawks when they beat you at home, and what will you do different in this game to try to get the win in the Hawks' nest?
We've had a bit of time to adjust since that game. I mean, they came out firing. They were a young group at that time, and now they've added a few good pieces, and so we're going to expect their best and just challenge them the best we can.
Awesome. Also, how do you plan to counteract the offensive threats on the other side with the Hawks? You got Dan Greeter, you know, one of the top scorers in the league, if not the top scorer. Then you got Daniel Coward and the young gun Jackson Ball.
We're just going to continue to focus on ourselves, our individual assignments, and at the end of the day, just play good team defense, and hopefully we'll come away with a win.
Awesome. Hey, appreciate your time today. Tobias, have a good game.
That is Tobias Cameron. Brother Flynn out of this game. Starting 5 for the Hawks. Sam Grogan, Jackson Ball, Swakalo Bullet, Greedy, Ricky Yates, Darnell Cowart. It's a strong starting 5. Spearheaded by the 17-year-old Kiwi phenom, Jackson Ball, and we spoke to him as well earlier.
All right, I'm here with Jackson Ball from the Big Barrel Hawks. Hey, Jackson, with the game falling on Anzac Day, does the occasion and any extra significance, give any extra significance and motivation to you and the team?
Yeah, it's obviously really special getting to play on such an important day to our country's history, and hopefully we can put out a performance tonight that does it justice.
Awesome, Jackson. Also, what specific areas have you as a team at the Hawks focus on improving during training to prepare for this game against the Bulls?
Yeah, it's been a really good week off. We've just worked on a lot of us, building cohesion as a group, both offensively and defensively, and hopefully that shows tonight.
Awesome, Jackson. Hey, appreciate your time today. Good luck for the game, man.
Jackson Ball, what a season he is having. 17 years old, turned 17 last month, averaging 23 points a game. And here's how they look in the Chemist Warehouse head-to-head.
A bit of inconsistency for both squads. 2 wins out of the last 5. The Bulls dropping 2 out of the last 3 as well. High scoring Hawk squad coming up against the great defense of the Bulls, who actually have the second best scoring defense in the competition. Points in the paint, the Hawks do it by attacking the rim from the perimeter. The Bulls smash the offensive glass. There you see those field goal percentages, but rising for the Bulls, the Hawks, one of the most efficient teams in the competition. As we mentioned, Jackson Ball scoring earlier. He's doing that on 60% shooting. Just fantastic decision-making for the young player.
And this game might just be won inside the arc and on the glass as well. Bulls and the Hawks, not the most, I guess, proficient of three-point shooting teams. They do not like to get the shots up as much as the rest of the competition. They are both sub-30 three-point attempts. And the Bulls only taking 28 attempts, and that is powered by Ethan Rusbatch, shooting almost 11 a game since he's arrived back from Finland.
Yeah, and I think the absence of Flynn Cameron also affects that as much. He likes to shoot that 3. These teams are 9th and 10th, Bulls and Hawks respectively, in three-point rate, but they shoot the ball pretty well. You know, they can, especially if they got the right players on their team shooting it. But this is going to be a real contrast of styles, the aggressive physical defense of that Bull squad against that offensive attack and transition of the Hawks. And it's going to be up to these match officials, Brad Clive, Sasha Nicholson, and Daniel Kuj, to blow that whistle and keep what could be a physical game in line.
Certainly will be. Rapid League win to the Hawks previously, about 20 minutes ago. And Sebastian Gleim just has these games with his teams that just seem to fall off what they're trying to achieve as a unit. They just look disjointed at times, but when they're on, they are absolutely one of the toughest squads at both ends of the floor to contain.
In particular, with Ethan Rusbatch, who's bringing to this team with the three-point shooting. If he's coming out and he's having a pretty decent day, especially early, this Bulls team really gets the wind at their backs, and they can be tough to stop because they get in those passing lanes, they can get aggressive, that turns to easy buckets. But if that three-point shot isn't going early, then the offense becomes a little bit tougher in the half court, and that opens opportunities for defense or for the opposition to get set before the defenses offensively. We'll see how it goes today. Marcel Jones, he's looking to have another big one. The veteran has been a handy pickup for this Bull squad. I think a late arrival in the decision. Deep team are the Bulls. Probably have a bit more depth than do the Hawks, especially since Flynn Cameron's out. Of course, Ruben Tarangi's contract has finished, so he's back to his family in Australia. One big out for the Hawks tonight, Clifton Bush III, out with stitches, so he is unavailable. That's certainly going to affect the athleticism coming off the bench for the Hawks. They'll have to be careful with their foul trouble with that unit just a bit depleted.
Dan Greta, he's come into this league again and just had an absolute blinder with the Hawks, averaging 28.5 points a game for second in the league. And he is leading the league in free throw attempts from the Chemist Warehouse line as well. So he is really bending defenses. He's also getting it done on the defensive end as well. Almost 3 steals a game and 1.3 blocks a game. Good for top 10. Ricky Yates, a nice addition, the Kiwi, who's been playing NBL 1 previous years. Ricky Yates is 7th in rebounding, 9.5 a game on the glass. It's a nice high-low game between him and Darnell Cow at the American. Will be Okwera and Yates to get us underway here on Ransack Day. Will be the Bulls in white with Tay Hardy. Haven't even mentioned Tay Hardy, who's 3rd in the league in scoring, 21.4 points per game. Tobias Cameron to Gallagher. Nice action from the Bulls to start the game.
Beautiful set. Come out with that curl, but that was always to get Gallagher open by the bucket. A lot of distractions on the perimeter to pull that defense away.
Foul. And it'll be side ball as Jackson Ball gets to the cup.
Call it such an excellent passer, especially out of that high post. Really facilitate that offense for the Hawks.
He leads the team in assists, Darnell Coward, with 5 a game.
see why with passes like that last flash. Love to work him in this low post as well.
Here's Cowett using the footwork, finds Yates. Reader on the baseline. Weir and Glover. That's a tough front line, and he manages to get it up and in on the reverse.
That's just a really nice creation of space by Dan Greta there. There was nothing there. He takes the dribble baseline just to get Glover out of position, create that angle for the reverse to get the first bucket of the ball game. 2-zip Hawks.
And the roll can't quite go down for Tobias Cameron. Score is 2-all. Just tweaking the clock for you, going from analog to digital. Yates, Jackson Ball, knocking that down.
And that's a play I'd like to see a little bit more from Jackson Ball. He's so talented, but so judicious with his shot taking. He could be a bit more aggressive and lift that scoring average.
Nice match to Aguera. And Aguera getting to the cup despite the defense from Greta.
Tough finish. Greta physically challenges that. Aguera drops the ball, bubbles it a bit. Otherwise, it would have been a big, easy dunk. Instead, he just barely gets it over the D.
Straight line drive. Darnell Cowett, the strong, wide body. He had one thing in mind when he drove, and he gets the and one opportunity.
Now, Cowett's not a big leaper, but he can actually hang in the air, but he's got really nice hang time. And that time, he gets into the body of the defender to give an opportunity for himself to get that end one, takes the contact, hits it off the glass, and completes the old-fashioned three-point play from the Chemist Warehouse in his first free throw of the ballgame.
Hawks with a 8-4 lead. Here's Rustbatch. Hardy. The fall away, Tay Hardy. Tell you what, the Bulls love an import guard with a mid-range game.
Yeah, it was quite a matchup the first time these teams met between Tay Hardy and Jackson Ball. Of course, that was without Dan Greta, Luka Yates, and Swakalo Bullock. So considering that these three is added and the Bulls were still able to win, or the Hawks were able to get that one, it could be impressive today.
That bucket again is good. This time, go down low to Cowett. Actually plays a high-low game really well for this Hawks team. Tobias Cameron can't get that. And so it's Greta pushing it the other way. Gets to the paint, kicking it out. Cowett with his feet set.
Greta just misses. Luka Yates had the drop-off right next door. Could have had 2 points, but Sal Cowett outside, and Cowett's been hot. They've been working the ball through him early, so might be trying to get him ignited early in this one. Unfortunately, can't hit the triple. And then to add a little pain to the miss, Greta picks up the foul as well.
Cowett played at Murray State with Ja Morant. He's currently snacking the Oklahoma City Thunder in Game 3 of the NBA playoffs. Lead by over 20 at half-time as Aguera left it short. Poked away. Tobias Cameron almost got it back, but it just watched it bounce out. So it goes back to Hawke's Bay.
Well, couldn't quite set his feet in bounds in time to grab that ball back. Love the hustle. Luka Yates has to be aware around these Bulls players after he secures a rebound, because they're not giving up on the ball. They're going to swipe at it. They're going to hack at it. They're going to try and regain possession.
Up high is Cowett, looking for some action with Greta and Ball, and he finds the young Kiwi guard who dumps it off to Luka. Yates misses. Greta had it knocked away.
Well, I had to agree with Dan Greta there. Whether it was his ball or it was just pointed the wrong direction. Hence why the confusion.
Dan Greta, 6 years, 6 seasons with the Illawarra Hawks. 2 ACL injuries. Spent last season with the Nelson Giants, was sensational for them. Balling out again, this time it's with Hawke's Bay. Rustbatch stepping back.
I like the way the Bulls are defending the Hawks to stop the transition. They're picking up the ball at the point of attack. Puts a lot of pressure on you defensively, but can really shut down those fast break opportunities that the Hawks are so reliant upon.
Here's Cowett. Pull up, Jackson Ball.
getting the paint penetration off the dribble right now. Bulls defense tightened up as you would expect with a team as good in that area as they are.
Hardy covered well by Cowett.
Oh, they called a kick. That was his hand.
Looked like a kick ball to the referee, unfortunately.
Fortunate for Tay Hardy, though. Lockdown defense by the big fella, Arnell Cowett. Locking down Tay Hardy, getting excited about it. And it's going to be a reset of the shot clock. 14 seconds for the Hawks.
Campbell Scott in the game. He's been lighting it up from deep. 43% and 10 attempts per game. That's 12 points a game. Campbell Scott, he's been a great pickup from the Jets.
Kobe Carr checking in the ball game as well. Michael Yates and Soccer Avila checking out.
Carter with the ball. Cowett needs to get it up, fall away. Guerra with the rebound.
Plenty done on Carter a ton early in this one.
And a foul down low. Carter getting tied up with the German blogger.
Luger's got a bit of size in that matchup. And if I'm the Bulls, I'm going to go try and attack in the low post. Whichever one it's not guarding by Cowett. Right now it's Okwara being guarded by Carr. That's a huge size and athleticism difference. I'll be trying to get it right to him in the post.
Rusbatch pulling the trigger. And tipped by Glogger to Tay Hardy.
They don't get the advantage through entering the post, the ball into the post directly, but Glogger on the glass, working hard, tips to Hardy to pull the Bulls to within 2.
Reader trying to split the double team.
That defense closed quickly. It looked like there was a little bit of sunlight. That was shuttered quickly. Did they get smacked in between?
Points aren't a problem for this Hawke's Bay Hawks team. It's just stopping the opposition. You're conceding almost 94 a game, scoring almost 95 a game, Hawke's Bay. But points are hard to come by for this Bulls team with their pace, averaging just over 87 a game. But here they're out and running. It's Tay Hardy going at Scott, just a little strong. Carter with the cleanup job.
Nice transition defense. Kobe Carr gets that rebound. Cowett with a bounce pass.
Just a little bit too much mustard.
With that kicked, both Cowett and Greener are saying it got kicked. It doesn't look like it from that angle. Tough to see. Did take a bit of a strange bounce out of the hand of Cowett.
It did look like it bounced quite high. Like a one-handed pass. Bounce pass.
You can't see it in the replay. That's a lot of pressure on the officials to see something different.
Sam Grogan. He's asking for an explanation here.
Well, is that on the backside? Is that Tobias Cameron?
I think it came off, yeah, the body of Cameron.
Yeah, so that first angle we saw, it was just the pass. Couldn't see the second half of it. Yeah, that second one does look like it's off the hand of Cameron. Or do we have a technical foul? Well, we do. We have a T being called for disputing that call.
Rusbatch at the line. Always reliable. And only 60% this season since he's come back from Finland. He's just got to make sure the free throw line's probably up by the 3-point line.
That T called on Dan Greta, by the way.
For arguing.
Dan Greta picks up his second personal foul with that technical.
Here's Rusbatch. One-handed floater game off the glass.
A real opportunity for the Franklin Bulls here. Dan Green's going to be on the bench for the considerable future with 2 fouls. Might not see him till the second. And the energy really drops for the Hawks when he's out of the game. Who can lift for them?
Jacob Murphy pulling the trigger on that one. Bulls have the lead. Here's Okwara. Kick out. Yates with one of his rebounds.
This quickens a bit. Both teams looking for opportunities in transition, but the defense solid to start with.
The bullet, Rodney Yates looking for a cutter, and it's Scott swatted by Aquera.
Yeah, just too slow on the transition catch to finish. Will require plenty of time to recover.
Here's the vet, Marcel Jones. Knocking that down, Marcel Jones.
Just lines it up. Luka Yates doesn't believe that shot's going down. Doesn't come out to him quickly enough. Marcel Jones is pumped. The Bulls got a little something going here. The slow start, but the energy has shifted. You can feel it. The Bulls starting to play with a little bit of confidence. The offense for the Hawks starting to look for some answers after initially really coming out the gates nicely. 5 early perks for Cowart. But since then, it's been a tough sledding for a Hawks base squad that struggled offensively last week.
It's a 14-10 lead for the Franklin Bulls, the visitors. They don't play again until next weekend when they have the Nuggets. The Hawks have a tough road trip down to Wellington to play the Saints on Sunday. Casey on the call with that one.
Justin
Nelson.
Be down there, sideline of the Saints. Always good to get back to Wellington. But been a while since I remember the Saints playing all these games. I think they were in the middle of last week. Quite a long break for them. That can go a couple of ways. You can see a lot of energy here. Seem a little rusty. Questions abound with the Saints. How are they going to replace Sean Bruce? Got an import spot open. They're going to go big. They're going to go small. A few big name Kiwis still unsigned as well.
Name them. Who's on the call?
Well, one I'm thinking of is Jordan Atai.
Oh, yeah. Upstairs. Nice look to Jacob Murphy from the corner.
That's going to drive Coach Sebastian Glenn crazy. Out of a timeout, a complete lack of communication. Jacob Murphy sitting in the corner by himself to get that finish. That is, I'm surprised he didn't call a timeout to yell at his team a little bit.
Jones for a second 3 attempt. No, 4 off the bench and on the glass.
So active on the old boards. Really nice job pushing down Yates under the bucket.
Jones, Marcel Jones with his almost 4 decades of basketball experience.
You just can't guard Marcel Jones with the Campbell Scott. Just way too much size. You got to send a double.
Swakalo Bullet just using that length. And he finishes for the and one opportunity.
Ronnie Swakalo Bullock explodes to the cup with just a definitive drive. Put his head down, decided to get there. Hasn't hit his peak offensively yet in the Sal's NBL. He's still trying to figure out, this offense trying to figure out how to work that ball to his hands a little bit more on the weak side. You know, Jackson Ball, with Dan Greta, with Darnell Cowart, a lot of ball-dominant guys, high usage rates in those 3. So I think Coach Gruggan still figuring out ways to best utilize Swakalo Bullock.
Makes the and one from the Chemist Warehouse line, an 86% free throw shooter. Cameron kicking it out to Vano. Christian Vano, the young point guard, finds success in the corner from deep. Back to 4 is the lead for the Bulls. 2:12 to go.
Vano is excellent in the rapid lead, keeps that form up. 4-point lead, the Bulls really active defensively as well.
Gamble by Cameron. And we've got a foul underneath.
Well, unfortunate for the Hawks. That was going to be a putback for Scott, but it's pushing the back on the weak side where Yates was. And I think it's going to be free throws. That is the 5th personal foul, so I think we're going to see Luka Yates head to the Chemist Warehouse strike. Of course, Luka Yates will have a chance to add to the kitty there. Every free throw made this season adds to the Hoops in Schools program in conjunction with BBNZ. Chemist Warehouse and Basketball New Zealand are putting hoops in communities in need.
There are a lot of communities that need more hoops, that is for sure.
Luka Yates can help get us a little bit closer by hitting a couple free throws. Once the team hits 220 free throws, that is a hoop going in the ground.
I believe the Saints have the most made free throws. Casey, I read your emails.
Thanks, bud. I'm glad somebody does.
Yeah, they've made 141. Missing the second there. Hawke's Bay, actually, it's the Tuatara and the Airs have made 152.
Getting up there, getting closer to a hoop.
Swakalo Bullet finding his groove with the second unit.
Bit more of that from Swakalo Bullet. Catching in rhythm, setting up some plays so he can get those looks from the perimeter, not off the bounce, but off that catch and shoot. I like his balance much better that way.
Tobias Cameron using that shoulder as a Cameron is wont to do.
I like that matchup between Murphy and Cameron. There's going to be a little bit of niggle there. Neither of those players is the type to back down.
Kobe Carter with Marcel Jones on him. Going to take the lead. And that is an easy call to make. Tobias Cameron playing both ends with physicality, picking up the charge call there, taking the hit and going down. And that's the kind of defense Gleim likes to see.
Really putting Kobe Carr under pressure. I was just thinking how much I like the look of Kobe Carr's handle out there, but needs to read that defense. That's help off the strong side. You need to come to a jump stop, kick that out to the corner for the shooter. He's unable to do so. Cameron's gamble pays off with the offensive foul and turnover.
Some subs in. Ball and Coward come in. And Scott will take a seat.
I like the rotations for Hawke's Bay early. They throw a lot of bodies. You need to do that against this physicality of the Bulls. They're going to wear them down if you don't do so.
Murphy, Yates, Stuffalo, Bullet, Coward and Ball out there for Hawke's Bay. Here's Tay Hardy. He's going at Jacob Murphy in this quarter. And it's Tay Hardy with an offensive rebound. And just in a bit of trouble there, the baseline and the two defenders, but it stays with the visiting Bulls.
Love the effort on Jacob Murphy. Kind of took a shoulder to the chest, displaced him, but he competes, he forces the miss, then Darnell Coward comes over, gives him some help, knocks that out of bounds. Just 10 seconds on the shot clock now.
Hardy, step back, pretty, high arcing, down it goes.
Oh my. Got some arc on that bad boy for sure. The Rainmaker, beautiful move, creating the space on Carl. Oh, sorry, Yates on that one.
Coward crossing up, going behind the back. Might have dragged his pivot foot. Puts it up, can't get it to go down. But it falls to Campbell-Scott.
Coward, fortunate not to get called for the travel, but somehow keeps possession.
Ball, tough drive, Jackson Ball.
What's the stopping clock there? I think the ball was wet. Was that a player timeout? I think, oh, player timeout.
Wow, BNZ player timeout in the first quarter. Just a couple seconds remaining. Confident that the second quarter won't need one.
It's your chance to use that QR code on screen and get your ticket to the big game. All thanks to BNZ inspired the next generation of Kiwi ballers. We're looking for groups that come to win tickets to games this season. Do you think you might be in to win? Get that next generation of Kiwi baller to the sideline. Scan that QR code and come to the next game that's available. 2.3 seconds left. I don't mind the second quarter, the first quarter player timeout, but let's see if it's fruitful.
Big skip pass to Ethan Rusbatch. And that is the first quarter. 21-20, the Franklin Bulls have a lead of 1 in Hawke's Bay.
Talk, chat. What are we doing, chat? How we feeling on TikTok? Thanks for joining us in the Sal's NBL today. Got quite the contest going on in the first half, Moles. But I'm wondering, are you more concerned with this game or the NBA playoffs?
Well, I'm more concerned about this game, Casey. I'm a professional, and this is a tight game. Both games in the NBA playoffs are currently blowouts.
That's why we're okay. I've appreciated what I've seen in this first half. A lot of aggression from both teams. Going to be interesting to see if either team's able to really impose their will in the ball game. We've seen stretches of it, but not for the entirety of things. If you are watching with us on the Sky Sport NZ TikTok, thanks for joining in. Just go ahead and toss in some questions in the chat. We'll be here at quarter break times and at halftime to give you a little behind the scenes. Ask those questions. We've got a lot of answers, especially Moles.
Certainly do. And currently, this team, the Hawke's Bay Hawks, shooting the better percentage of 44%, but it's the Bulls with this 1 point lead. And we'll be back at halftime to talk to you between the breaks as well on TikTok. Welcome back, Rodney Green Arenas in Hawke's Bay on your Anzac Day here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. You're watching across the Motu and around the world. It's the Bulls with a 1 point lead. Getting the mahi done, 21-20. Both teams feeling out process in that first quarter, Casey, and it's a tough old physical battle, you'd have to say.
Yeah, I've been impressed by both teams locked in. We've seen a little bit of resiliency from both squads. Nice little runs came on. The offense probably a little tick below where I thought it would be for both teams, but especially impressive to keep both these teams from finding the range from deep early in the first quarter.
It's Jackson Ball with nothing but net from the corner.
And that release is getting so much quicker. He's already up to 8 points on just 4 shots. Such an efficient player, in particular for his age, but for any age, really.
Aguero misses that. Bullet. Ball feeling himself. Too strong. Campbell Scott, though, has it. Back to Ball. Out to Scott. Can shoot the three at a great rate.
I like that aggressiveness from Jackson Ball and Campbell Scott, though. And at times, I think Jackson Ball has been a bit more passive than he needs to be. He's a talented player. Even with all the talent around him, he can still be one of the drivers of that offense.
Here's Aguero. Stepping back. Knocking that down.
That's tough.
David Aguero.
That is creating a lot of space. Ludi Yates contests that pretty well. Sometimes you just got to tip of the cap and say, well done, catch you on the next one.
Bullock directing Yates for a pin screen. And Swakala Bullock loses his footing. It's going to be Aguero called for the trip.
You see it comes off. And, just a bit unlucky there. Just a little bit of contact from Aguero. And enough to make Ronnie Swakala Bullock lose that balance. First foul of the quarter. Just having a little bit of an issue with this score check there.
David Aguero just recently signed a one-year deal to return to the Perth Wildcats as well.
And this was after opting out of his two-way option. I think that score's a little bit off still. I believe it's we've got an unsportsmanlike foul on Swakala Bullock there, pushing Tobias Cameron in the chest.
That is that physicality we talked about. In that first quarter, Tobias Cameron will not take a backward step to anyone.
We've got a little bit of a score check issue at the moment. I believe the score is 24-23. They've had to check things out here, get in the right spot. But while they're discussing things, there was this foul over in the corner where Swakala Bullock had enough of Tobias Cameron and pushed him in the chest.
So two teams have got...
Apologies, I've been told that it's 23 all at the venue.
Playoff aspirations, even though we're only around about round 7 of the Sal's NBL. Just watch yourself there over the top of the screen. Tobias Cameron's just pushed over.
So it's Campbell Scott.
Campbell Scott, the enforcer.
I like Campbell Scott, tough kid. Don't know if Tobias Cameron's going to let Campbell Scott in any other situation on the planet push him over that easily.
Sebastian Gleim looks on. We have explanation coming to Sam Grogan. And we're going to have a technical foul shot.
Well, unsportsmanlike.
Unsportsmanlike, rather, excuse me.
And if it's unsportsmanlike, that should be shots and possession.
And possession, you're right.
So this is going to be...
before the inbound, isn't it?
And I've had actually some clarification on the inbound foul from official Brad Clive, who came through to me. It's only possession back and free throws in the last 2 minutes of the game. So it's down the stretch of things from when we had that situation at the Totar game a couple weeks ago, Knowles. But this situation is unsportsmanlike foul. So when unsportsmanlike, whoever possession it is, doesn't matter. It's possession, and it's free throws and the basketball, and unsportsmanlike. So that push in the chest, very costly for the Hawks.
Here's Hardy. Kicking it out. Guerrero tried to find Goga, just congested in there. Bounce pass was ambitious from Coward. I like the vision. That's a tough pass for anyone to make.
Well, he's going to have to be a bit careful, or just temper those passing lanes a bit. The turnover's been rising when he's been trying to create for his teammates, and I think it's much more important for the Hawks to keep the ball than to thread that needle. As you see, Dan Green checking the ball game for the first time in about 7 minutes with his 2 fouls.
They were plagued by turnovers, were the Hawks Bay Hawks. Their loss to the Jets.
Yeah,
instant impact off the bench.
Let me play 3 seconds. I'll get an offensive rebound and a putback. I just love this guy's game, love his energy. And so do the Hawks fans.
They had 20 turnovers in that loss to the Jets, 103-91. And Jimmy Howard had 9 of those turnovers as well. Going the other way is Greeder. Straight through the Bulls defense and back-to-back buckets.
That is right through the chest of Tay Hardy. And that's going to be a timeout for Coach Sebastian Gleim. He needs to talk about that transition defense. And I think maybe speak to the officials about how Greeda just pushes his way through Tay Hardy there. That could have been dangerous for Greeda. 2 fouls. If that's offensive, that's his 3rd. Instead, a momentum-shifting bucket for the Hawks, forcing the Bulls to call timeout.
So while we wait for this timeout, it is Trans-Tasman Throwdown time. Hopefully an annual fixture in your international window in May in years to come. The Tall Blacks and the Boomers and the 2 Degrees Tall Ferns up against the Opals. Double headers between these 2 Anzac nations. Kirikiri Roa in Hamilton, Sunday, May 11th. Get your tickets from Tiki Tech. And that will be a great 3-game series, 3 test series. How we don't play more games against Australia in the men's and women's international games is beyond me, but people have made it happen, and it's great to see.
It's a lot of work behind the scenes, team, to get this. So happy to have it at the Glow Box in Hamilton in May. Going to be fantastic. The Tall Blacks are actually going to be the first game that day. The Tall Ferns the second. What a chance to support your Tall Blacks and Tall Ferns against the Boomers.
Watch the highlight show of the Sal's NBL on Tuesday nights. Hawke's Bay with a 1-point lead since Dan Greeder came on and just took the game by the scruff of the neck and took over. Well, really just grabbed the game by the mullet, just yanked it his way.
Quite a mullet it would be to grab. Taking a look at the stats right now. Balanced scoring for the Hawks. 4 out of 5 starters have scored at least 5 points. Lukey Yates, the lone non-scorer, was 0, but they're passing that ball around for the majority, forcing another turnover here. And the sloppy turnovers in the second quarter is what started that landslide for the Sharks last week against this Bulls side. From that point on, the Sharks just could not miss. They found range from deep, and the turnovers kept piling up for the Bulls. They need to do something to avoid that type of slide this week.
Jackson ball. Breeder. Rosbach has his hands full with Breeder. Does a good job. Pulls down the board. Hardy. There's a knee injury there.
Oh no,
Swakalo Bullock came down on that knee.
I mean, really nice challenge. Ends up getting called for the foul as well. I thought it was pretty good defense. Taking another look at it. Nice pass by Rosbach, setting things up.
Just gets his legs bumped out from under him, and that left leg that's already got a sleeve on it.
Oh, that's bad.
Doesn't look great, and he's still down.
You can tell the reaction immediately. He understood that that was a really awkward angle. He's landing while getting thrown backwards. Really nice to see him up and walking.
Nice hand.
Thankfully, it doesn't look as bad as initially feared. Might even be staying in the ball game.
It's just one of those ones, if you had a knee injury before and you land on it, you just hope when you feel something that it's not as bad as it was the last time you did it. And he's out there still playing, which is great to see. Blogger dropping it off to Akwera, the Wildcat, putting it down with two hands in the paint.
A bit of a miscommunication there defensively. He's heading off defenders, but nobody's cutting out, so Akwera wide open underneath.
Another lead change here. Swakalo Bullock underneath for two.
Speaking about wide open underneath, another nice interior pass by big man, this time Lukey Yates. He drops it off for Swaka on the cut.
Blogger off the Tobias Cameron bounce pass.
And it's just always in the right place. So Blogger rolls out of that one, makes himself available, and hits the nice shot off the glass as the Bulls go back into the lead.
I believe this is his first professional contract outside of Germany.
Nice pass, Coward. Good finish, Greta. He spent a lot of time in that dunker spot right now. He's being rewarded for it.
Hardy. Two Hawks swoop in on his drive. He caught one in the head. Tay Hardy.
Apologies for that score ticker. Going up and down, a little bit of movement in that one.
Tay Hardy's played in Mongolia. Averaged 21 and 4 rebounds in Mongolia. It's just his second pro season. Levante Hardy. About to go to the line to shoot two, hit the Chemist Warehouse strike.
Tay Hardy has been phenomenal for this Franklin Bulls squad this season. 21 points per game, nearly 7 assists, almost 4 rebounds. Tremendous defense. Able to hit from the Chemist Warehouse stripe there, adding to that hoops this school is telling.
Coward up high, trying to find Yates. And that's a turnover. Another one, just a fourth though in this half. 5:48 to go. This has been a slower paced second quarter, that is for sure.
Nice penetrating pass by Coward there. But Yates not quite expecting it, and therefore the turnover comes.
Hardy spinning, bouncing it to Rosbach. Contested three.
Well, I think pretty fortunate that they missed that shot to Rosbach, and I think that one went off Lukey Yates. I thought he tipped that one out trying to reach over. Tobias Cameron actually watched that go out because he thought it was going to be their ball.
Rosbach still searching for that first three of the game. They've done a good job contesting the three ball. In fact, the Hawks are really good defensively guarding that three-point line. Teams averaging under 31% against them. Third best in the league is Murphy, wide open. And the Bulls in the push. Hardy trying to get Murphy on his heels. Gets all the way in.
That's going to be on the pass again. Tay Hardy getting that deep penetration before getting that whistle. Going to be the fourth foul on the Hawks. Love that hustle on the other end, but that late save actually goes to the Hawks' detriment. Opened up a 4-on-3 break with two Hawks players chasing the basketball. And didn't get a chance for that transition defense to get set. Bulls and the Hawks in a low-scoring battle right now, but I feel like the offense is going to come in punches and bunches today.
It certainly is. Lead changes. No team has had a lead bigger than 4. Glogger's fouled. Just old school bread and butter basketball with a big.
Solid pick and roll. Glogger met by 2 Hawks, but neither could defend without getting him under. Well, not often you get to see the player get that shot back, especially just before a free throw. Glogger trying to line things up. A lot of attention to Ethan Rusbatch on that on ball. That's why Glogger is able to find some space on the roll. Can't find the net from the Chemist Warehouse on free throw number 1 though.
Glogger, 70% free throw shooter from the Chemist Warehouse line. Spent 4 years at Maine, 9 seasons in Germany for the Rostock Seawolves.
That is a lot of loyalty shown. Let's see him get his first job as an import over here in New Zealand. Sebastian Glein opened up some recruiting lines for us here in New Zealand as well.
Bulls with a 2-point lead. Cowart saw a lane, took it with the left hand.
That's pretty. Beautiful soft touch by the big man. I like that penetration from the elbow on the left to finish.
Glogger down low, knocking that down. Till Glogger getting to work here in the second quarter.
This is an advantage they've had the entire game. If Yates and Cowart on in the game together, one of those bigs has a chance to get the work down low. They're finally starting to exploit it.
16 points in the paint now for the Bulls, 20 for the Hawks. And this was always going to be a game mostly played within the 3-point line between 2 teams who aren't exactly knocking them down from deep, especially with the attempts on the lower end of the scale in this year's version of the Sal's NBL. Really, their 3-point attempts, if it wasn't for rest. Whoa! Cowart! Oh my! A one-legged turnaround over 2 defenders.
Gives him the Jokic, the wrong footer. That's the right foot fadeaway. That's a shot that is very difficult to shoot off, but once again puts his soft touch on display. He is putting it together here in the first half offensively.
Rusbatch, Cowart on him. Okwera all tied up as Okwera goes for 3. Glogger with a rebound, monstered by Cowart. And the Bulls bench up on their feet mostly, and Sebastian Glein applauds either the call or the effort, probably both.
That is a lot of contact on Glogger there. We love the effort on the offensive glass. The other big man's out there, and he's brought Yates out to the Kobe Kara out to the perimeter. That gives a little bit more space on the interior. Glogger takes advantage, and a chance to get 2 from the Chemist Warehouse to extend this Franklin Bulls lead, or actually create one.
And this will just warm the cockles of your heart, Casey Frank.
My cockles did need warming.
Well, I'm glad it's not me. I'm glad it's Cowart and Glogger who are leading scorers for their teams right now.
There we go. Feed
2
the bigs. Feed the bigs. Let them get the buckets.
Cowart with that mid-range game, that high-low action, but it's Glogger and Cowart leading scorers. Here's the big for the Bay. Scott giving room. Oh, Jacob Murphy almost had it.
Just a little bit too far, but Okwera coming back the other way.
Marcel Jones putting that down. Bulls taking advantage in transition in this game.
Is that a timeout? I believe it is. Yeah, timeout. Called on that one. As Coach Sam Gruggan. We've seen a little bit too much activity for the Bulls offensively. Finding a way to get the score ticked over. A lot of it in transition right now. And it's off misses. It's not really off turnovers. Overall, the Hawks doing a pretty good job of taking care of themselves. And if you want to take care of yourself, you can do worse than a large veggie pizza from Sal's. Use that online code Sal's Crossover 25, or straight to that QR code valid until Tuesday the 29th. $31.99 for a large veggie pizza.
That is delicious. You'd go half and half. Pepperoni, veggies on the other side. Just get that fiber.
Get a little bit of both.
Yeah, nice.
I like to keep it real. with myself.
The biggest lead of the night, of the afternoon, 39-35. Get your team merch with that QR code there. Some fire looking jerseys and supported gear as well.
Selected stores across the country, you can see that merch in store. Make sure you stock up. It's selling out fast. Cleanest uniform in the league this year, Andrew Mulligan.
Saints.
Oh, you're a homer.
No, it's the pinstripes, man. They've gone old school.
Yeah, the Rams have pinstripes too.
Good for them.
Well, if it's just the pinstripes. What do you mean?
No, but it's the black, it's the blue, the classic.
Yeah, it's back.
I mean, yeah.
You missed it.
I mean, cool. Rams, cool stuff.
Back to your youth at the showground.
Yeah, the show buildings, absolutely. Kenny McFadden, Kerry Boagni days. Frank Mulvihill, mullet flowing.
The beauty is a joy forever.
Dad used to call Saints games for the radio. How's that? The Terry Orchard.
There we go. Well, I always thought that we had faces built for radio roles, but we get to work on TV. Of course, they don't see us here either. So.
Certainly, I tell you what, for people who work on TV, we're very well hitters.
The offense for the Hawks, I'm not finding a lot of weakness in this Bulls defense. This has been a heck of a lockdown quarter. Just 32 points total scored between the two teams.
Hardy with the ball, Logger up high. Sending another pick for Rusbatch. He drives, kicks it out. Jones for another three. That's good. That's his second three of the game.
He's been so good today. You mentioned his second three, but scoring on the perimeter or in the interior against other perimeter players as well. Solid defensively, has some great length. What a pickup he's been for the Bulls this season.
Shooting 30% from three coming into this game. That was just a really nicely run play. There's Yates. Just couldn't quite get the handle on it.
Foul called though. It's going to be the third personal foul on the Bulls this quarter, not yet in the bonus.
This is the biggest lead of the game for either team. 7. I really like the accents though, the championship.
The gold, little gold stripe on the shoulder.
I guess the mini banner on the shoulder for teams who have won championships.
It's pretty classy.
It's a nice look. Some teams, some leagues have them on the back, up high.
I don't like Hawks Bay's gold banner though, because they stole that championship from me.
How so?
They just did it, that's all. Anyway, back to the action.
Here's Tay Hardy. Glogger from 15 feet misses that. 2 minutes to go, Casey, in the second quarter.
Yeah, much better off forcing Glogger into that mid-range jumper than the layup as Marcel Jones nearly gets the steal.
Scott given room. Man, Campbell Scott hasn't been able to connect in the Sal's NBL this game. He's hit some in the Rapid League game. You're wondering, Casey, in that Rapid League game, whether or not a shooter, how does it affect them if they play in the Rapid League? Can they continue? And the break might have undone Campbell Scott here.
And 3 triples in the Rapid League has not translated.
Ricky Yates surrounded by length and size. Finds Campbell Scott.
5 on the shot clock.
Goes for deep.
The Hawks Bay offense has no answers right now. The Bulls really just straining the life out of the half court. That looks like a push on Aguero.
Aguero. A little bit of justice maybe here for Hawks Bay, but the Bulls have it back. Minute to go. Oh, and Marcel Jones slips. And he looks like he's hurt himself.
He can't tell if he's grabbing his knee or his calf there, but that's a non-contact injury.
He slipped on the wet spot there where I think Campbell Scott got shoved down. And that's unfortunate. Marcel Jones just taking a moment to gather his thoughts here. Just right there, it slips.
Oh, jeez.
From out from under him. And that knee, that left knee, he clutches at it.
Yeah, he gets down there afterwards. Thankfully, he's walking around okay. Is he heading to the bench? Yes, he is. Scott does not get the whistle on the push to the chest, but that play still forces the turnover.
Yeah, I mean, in a roundabout way. Kobe Carter to Jackson Ball. Under a minute to go in the first half. Saka low bullet. Ball looking for Lukey Yates. They find Coward though in the corner. Him and Glogger going at it. Ruspatch came over, but it's Coward on the offensive glass. He has had a half.
Well, he's just really inserting himself and his will on the game. We've got a timeout to the Bulls right now after Coward just takes his time in the low post. He's up to 11 points now and 5 for 8 from the field. 2 rebounds, 2 assists, just the 1 turnover. And I think most importantly, just 1 foul. Foul trouble, a bit of an issue with the Hawks. Dan Greta's got his 3. That's why he's been on the bench for a while. And nice bucket there. Just brings the Hawks back close enough after quite the dry spell offensively. I think another look at some Oquera highlights, dropping the triple on that one. This is Darnell Cowart and the beautiful little fadeaway. Marcel Jones draining the triple out of the corner.
He's the leading scorer in the game, Marcel Jones. 10 points off the bench. Oh, it's just been updated. Cowart there on the offensive rebound. It moves to 11. It's Glogger. He had 9, has 9. He was dual leading scorer in the game. So the big vets doing the work for both teams. Bulls with a 5-point lead.
That bench scoring going to be key. 13 bench points for the Bulls. Hawks just 2 right now from Jacob Murphy. He's actually one of only 2 players on the Hawks bench that's taken a shot. Campbell Scott 0 for 6, Jacob Murphy 1 for 5 off the bench. That is a lot of pressure being put on that starting lineup, especially with Dan Greta sitting in a little bit of foul trouble. Hawks want to secure this win. They could use a little bit of help off the time.
Tay Hardy just using that screen, getting downhill, getting ball on his hip, and draws the foul. The vet, Tay Hardy.
Well, he gets Jackson Ball on his hip early, and just defense just never comes in, never steps over. And just a smart play by Tay Hardy. The defense is not going to stop you. You just keep on going. And out of the timeout, with an easy bucket, possibly the easiest of the half for the Bulls, compounded by the contact from behind. Jackson Ball picks up his 3rd personal. Sorry, pardon me. That's he's been fouled twice. It's 1st personal.
30.5 seconds to go in the 2nd quarter. Bulls with an 8-point lead.
Tay Hardy to the bench gives him a little bit of a break and saves him from picking up foul number 3.
Christian Vano picks up team foul number 3, rather Zion Anderson does. And Jackson Ball, just a little bit more size for Anderson on ball. I think they have the 4th team foul for the Bulls, rather. And it's Tobias Cameron on the switch. Cowart goes through Ruspatch, who takes out Oquera.
And gives him the too small. 13 points for Cowart. He has really influenced the game right now. Bulls looking like the last shot.
Here's Oquera for 3. Knocking that down, David Oquera.
Did they call a player timeout, or did they not get it in time?
That's his 2nd 3.
That's the half.
That is it. Oquera ending with a flourish for the Bulls. They have an 11-point lead over Hawke's Bay. 48 to 39 at Rodney Green Arena's Hawke's Bay. We'll be back shortly to talk about the stats. Halftime here on TikTok at 48-39. It is a slow-paced game, as these 2 teams are wont to do, but the Hawks sluggish on their offense, unfortunately. Just 39 points at half.
How about Aquera taking the triple to beat the buzzer? Not how I would have drawn it up personally. I might have looked for Russ Batch or somebody else. I'm pretty sure not how Sebastian Klein got to draw it up either. But
you don't know that.
Aquera getting in the business. That's his second 3 of the ball game. 2 for 4 from behind the arc today, and a big lead for a Bull squad here in the first half.
You got any questions for us in
Toss them in the chat. We're listening to you.
the comment section? Yeah, on TikTok.
Marley Huerta, how you doing out there? Not a lot going up. We got a lot of people who want to see the Waz. Sorry, Waz don't go on Sky Sports TikTok.
Never seen a bigger crowd try and scab the Waz than on TikTok.
They're always talking about the Waz.
Yeah, I mean, up the Waz. They play Newcastle tonight live on Sky Sport, but you won't get that on TikTok for free.
No, you've got to actually go for the Sky Sports game.
It's premium content, people.
Occasionally Sky Open though, which is good too.
Yeah.
And actually, I think that game is on Sky Open.
Live from the kickoff. And who gets the win? You can see there the Bulls favourites on the nixonpick.com poll. Use the QR code.
It's Dan Greta's foul trouble. That's the big one in today's game. When Greta's in the game, it feels like they've got the advantage. You look at the plus minuses. Dan Greta has a plus minus of 6. The only Hawk with a positive plus minus. Jackson Ball -1. On the other side, Aquera plus 10. Marcel Jones plus 10. Those guys are getting it done.
Rugby Glazer 1 says Broncos are better. They weren't last night. Or were they? They were much better. They smacked the Bulldogs. That's Suncorp. Just went last week against the Warriors.
What do you think the shooting contest is going on between these two right now?
I mean, it's just, if it came out of court stuff.
Are they just playing a little 21? Oh, he made one.
Yeah,
there we go.
There you go. It is.
Well, I got to tell you, chat, I'm pretty disappointed with the interactions right now. If you are in the chat, let's spend the third quarter thinking of some good things to ask us some questions about. Or let us know where you're joining us from around the world.
How about the NBA? Welcome back, 48-39. Half-time here at Rodney Green Arenas in Hawke's Bay. And it's the Bulls with a lead, 48-39, Casey Frank. The Bulls have been really good executing. And Dan Greta and the Hawke's Bay Hawks have been struggling, except for Darnell Cowart. He leads all scorers with 13.
Yeah, Dan Greta with 8 points, but 3 fouls limited his time. Tay Hardy, Marcel Jones, and David Aquera all influencing the game in different ways, but the leading scorers for their teams. Luka Yates doing a nice job passing the basketball. Hasn't really been able to get involved offensively. Tay Hardy and Tobias Cameron leading the way with 3 apiece. Aquera and Greta doing the business on the glass, leading their teams with 6 apiece. And a rebound battle that has leaned towards the Hawks, 21-20 overall. Just the 1 block in the game. No surprise that David Aquera has picked that one up. And 3 steals in total. Murphy and Cowart, he's got his hands and stats all over the place. Impressive job by this Bulls squad. The game was tied about halfway through that second quarter, and they were able to just really gain control from there. Went on a 7-0 run, held it for a little bit, and have extended this lead to a point where the Hawks got to find some answers, or it's going to be tough for them to claw their way back in.
All stats thanks to the Chemist Warehouse, the official stats partner of the Sal's NBL. We'll take a break and we'll come back with the third quarter after that. It's the Bulls with a 48-39 advantage.
What up, chat? We're back again. Sammy Newt, no. You want the Hawks to win? Well, fair enough. I don't mind if the Hawks win every once in a while. They can do it. Bulls hands on, they might feel a little bit different way.
Tell me about the time the Hawks won the NBL championship, Casey.
What a great story that was.
What year was that?
That, I believe, was 2006. They played the Auckland Stars. It was up in Auckland, actually. It was at the, what is now Event Finder Stadium, formerly North Shore Event Center. Kareem was on that team. They had a teammate from Cincinnati who was actually the MVP of the finals. Willie Burton's lone title. He was able to get it in his last game before he retired. Adrian Mastrovich was on that squad. Dusty Leichhardt. They were a tough team.
Adrian Mastrovich. That's a tough team.
Porto Winatana. Actually, it wasn't Dusty. Dusty was on the team before. Porto Winatana was All-Star 5 that year and captained that squad, along with Paul Hanati, to steal that championship from my Auckland Stars team, who we did not have. Yeah, stolen. Stolen. It was mine.
Can you believe it?
The refs did us. It was definitely the refs' fault. No, we were a little underdone. Lindsay Tate had gotten hurt partway through the season, so we had to try and get things without him.
I'm looking forward to calling the Rams Tuatara game with Lindsay Tate tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to hearing his recollection of that final.
He was on the sideline. He had probably just checked out, because I think he got hurt about 9 games in. So unsurprisingly, it became my most successful season statistically. Lindsay, I finally got some shots up. Oh, jokes. Lindsay was a great teammate. One of my favorite partnerships I ever had anywhere. Running up the sideline with him, we were quite fast. The year before that terrible memory, though, I actually beat the Hawks in this gym, which was a much better memory. Yeah. Which I appreciated that one a lot more. Fantastic haka pregame between Porto Winatana and baloncesto.
I remember that.
That was a lot of fun. Got us fired up. Was a heck of a contest. We were able to pull out back-to-back titles for the Auckland Stars. Sammy Newton, no, you remember it? Yeah, you remember that, the Hawks title. You might remember the one year. Great to see Hawks Bay basketball back at this level after a couple of tough years.
Absolutely, and they commemorate that championship like all teams have won championships with that gold banner on their left shoulder. You can see it there on Dan Greta.
And then the number inside the trophy is how many you have. 1 for the Hawks.
Saints with 12. We will see you in between the 3rd and 4th quarters, TikTok.
Give us some questions. Put them in the chat. We'll answer them.
Welcome back. 3rd quarter about to get underway here at Rodney Green Arenas between the Bulls and the Hawks. And it is the Franklin Bulls who have a 9-point lead. And for the Hawke's Bay Hawks, it's really about not getting to the line. They're just 2 of 4 from the Chemist Warehouse line, and the bulk of their points coming points in the paint. 26 points in the paint of their 39.
And you look conversely at the Bulls. They've been to the line 10 times, and they're shooting at 90%. That extra activity, that 7-point difference, that's essentially the difference in the ball game. And then you add in the 3-point prowess. Both teams had 3 triples in the opening quarter. That second quarter, the Bulls were able to hit 2. They're only 5 for 12. But much better than the Hawks 3 for 12. And those couple of buckets, along with the free throws, that's the difference in this ball game. Can the Hawks find some energy defensively, slow down the Bulls, and can Gangrita get back into the game offensively without committing that 4th foul?
Also ball pressure from Hawke's Bay. The Bulls have looked after it. They've only turned the ball over 4 times, and they are very good at looking after the ball. 15, almost 16 turnovers a game.
And it's an 11-point ball game. The Bulls have 13 points off the bench. Especially most of those created by Marcel Jones. He's got 10 of them. There he is. His activity off the prime has been tremendous. 10 points.
Well, 13 bench points overall compared to the lone bucket from
Jacob Murphy's got that one.
The Hawke's Bay Hawks bench. 13-2 is the bench point advantage. So this Sebastian Gleim team, they have a tendency to either be dialed in or completely erratic.
Well, the defense is dialed in right now, holding an opponent under 40. A Hawks Bay squad that can really score the basketball. They can play with pace. It's been hampered with Dan Greta on the bench. No Clifton Bush III coming off the bench either. He's out of the game with stitches. But this Franklin Bulls team, they're not full strength either. Philly Cameron, of course, still out with a calf injury. They're expecting maybe another couple of players to come later in the season. And this is going to be an interesting game down the stretch. Can the Bulls find a way to dig deep? It's Coach Grugan going to be able to put them in positions where this offense doesn't have to be so dependent on Cowart in the half court, because in the half court, that's really the only place that anything positive is coming through right now.
So Ethan Ruspatch and the Bulls ready to get this underway. No Flynn Cameron today for the Bulls. Tobias Cameron, his brother, starting the game. No Flynn Cameron, no Clifton Bush the third off the bench for the Hawks as well, and it just gives them a lift athletically and shooting wise when Clifton Bush the third is out there. He has had some injury-hampered seasons.
What I'm actually a little bit impressed by from the Bulls is they've been able to get this done without Ethan Ruspatch really getting himself involved. He's only got 3 points today. He's been so key to their attack, especially from the perimeter, since he's rejoined the team. He's only 0 for 2 from deep today. 3 points in total, 1 for 5 from the field, but the Bulls still be able to find a way to keep that offense ticking over.
So underway, third quarter, good to go. Tay Hardy, Guerra setting the screen up high.
Oh, they set him up for the triple. Beautiful play.
Couldn't get it, but it's Tobias Cameron. He finds himself with it. Ruspatch, Swakalo Bullock all over him. Tries to find Blogger. He puts off a baseline jumper. Good disruption from the Hawks.
Oh, that's the best defensive possession of the game. But really created because Okwara didn't want to let that first one fly. They had the nice play set up. He puts it on the floor, and the offense loses its ability to be efficient.
Luka Yates.
A little flex action going on.
Spin move. Cowart on the reverse, and it's Yates with the cleanup job.
Oh, Cowart's hurt. He jammed his back on that move. He's gone down in the corner. So this is going to be a 5-on-4 opportunity. The Hawks should try and foul.
No. Foul forthcoming.
Swakalo Bullock's trying to foul. Nobody else is listening.
He's trying. Luka Yates is even trying to foul. Luka Yates is. Oh, and Cowart is still down.
Yeah, he just jammed the back when he landed. You could tell that it was an awkward angle for him. And he immediately went to the corner. And it seems as though none of the Hawks have noticed yet. I think Coach Grugan has just realized he's told his training staff to go get out there.
Nice smile for Sam Grugan. So
I mean, I don't think this is going to be a good one. I think that might be all she wrote for Cowart.
yeah, he's still down, as you can see. That is a big man. And he looks like he's in a lot of pain.
And the officials also not realizing what's going on.
Somebody needs to tell them.
They've told everybody, huddle up now, huddle up. We've got an injury timeout.
Cowart still on the floor. This is not good news. Darnell Cowart. Sam Grugan is there, and none of his teammates have come over to help him up either. Well, the big man looks ginger getting up, but at least he's getting up.
Must see him walking. Don't see a sub coming off the bench just yet. But if Cowart not walking out of the corner with any kind of quickness.
It's Darnell Cowart. He is looking like he is very ginger. And here is the replay, as you can see on the reverse.
He just grabs his back immediately.
He felt something go, didn't he?
Just if you've got lower back issues, occasionally if you sort of land on your heels instead of your toes, there could be an issue there. You try to, float that looping ability just a bit.
They've got a game on Sunday against the Saints in Wellington. Darnell Cowart, he looks like he may not feature for the rest of the game.
Well, what's the treatment options here? I don't see any physios getting into that lower back just yet. Of course, those physios look a little bit old school.
They look like they're about to rub dirt on it.
They're just, yeah, you're good. Get back out there. Here's a wet towel. There's a towel on his back.
It's Okwera at the line.
After all that, Okwera eventually getting fouled. After the Hawks tried 3 or 4 times unsuccessfully. This is gut check time for the Hawks. They've struggled against the 2 big lineup when Coward's been out of the ball game. Need to find a way to rebound on the interior effectively and stop that second big with Kobe Kara or possibly Swakalo Book.
Ball up high. How does this change the complexion of the game for Hawke's Bay? You've got Luka Yates. Kobe Carter was open. He tracks the ball down. And it will be Bulls ball.
Yeah, Kobe Kara had that dunker spot open, but Yates just couldn't find a way to deliver that pass. Would have had to be sort of a no-look bounce pass. Don't think he ever really caught vision of his teammate under the rim.
Logger. Yates on him. Goes to the drop step, left it short, gets his own rebound, puts it up again. Yates with the clean-up job. Here comes Greeter. Loves to push it on the open floor. It's a little strong, but Tobias Cameron is there to put it in. Excuse me, it's Kobe Carter.
Tobias Cameron is around in the vicinity as well. He gets scored on. So 7 points of difference now. Hawks need to continue to lock down defensively.
There's Tobias Cameron. He misses that though.
Wow, that's a really nice job by Greeter not to pick up foul number 4.
He just pushed it too much, hit it poked away. In a little bit of traffic. Hardy from Cameron.
Nice closeout there by Kobe Carter, making things difficult for the guard.
Hardy left it short on the 3-point attempt.
Nice box out there by Luka Yates. It's going to be so important for him to have a presence on the board for the rest of this game, depending on how long Howard's out for.
Ball turns the corner, puts up a runner. Can't get the roll. Greeter with almost a tip in.
They're starting the break.
Rusbatch from 15 feet. Down goes Tobias Cameron, pops back up.
Ooh, they're saying 2 shots on that one. Let's see exactly where the foul was. I was watching the ball. Missed it, but that's going to be Tobias Cameron to the Chemist Warehouse stripe. Of course, every free throw made at the Chemist Warehouse stripe this year in the Sal's NBL adds to the Basketball New Zealand hoops in schools and program. Putting hoops in communities in need and schools and parks all over the country. Every time a team hits 220, that's going to be a hoop or a community in need near you.
Cameron good on the first.
All thanks to Chemist Warehouse.
He's been so good this game. I had him playing it for both teams there.
Oh, he's been everywhere.
He has. He's been exactly how you'd expected Tobias Cameron to play. He hasn't got the numbers, but he's got the effort. Positionally, he's been really strong. And he makes the second. He moves to 4 points. He's got 2 rebounds, 3 assists. This is going to have to be a Dan Greeter game for Hawke's Bay with Jackson Ball, with no Darnell Coward. Probably for the quarter, if not the game. Here is Greeter. Down goes Kobe Carter. Greeter stepping through. And he gets that to go down. That's pretty.
That's just determination. Oh, Kobe Carter limping around now. It looks like he's going to be out in a second. Charge called. Oh, what a huge whistle that is. Could have been Dan Greeter's 4th personal foul. Instead, turnover going the other way. Dan Greeter puts himself on the line defensively. Let's take another look at it. Chest in the way. Tobias Cameron drops the shoulder. Dan Greeter's begging for it.
That is great position. And by the barest of margins on that charge circle, his heels must have been up.
Well, you've got to love the work rate, got to love the effort. And Kobe Carter out of the game. The Hawks even smaller now. And remember, no Clifton Bush III. That front line has been thinned out.
Greeter, just his footing.
Somehow not a travel.
Fires it back out. Campbell Scott with it. Under 5 now, 2 to shoot. Campbell needs to put it up. He's lost it, and that'll be a turnover, will it?
What is happening?
Wild shot.
Stop tying the Hawks' shoes together. They keep on going down. I think we've got a prankster.
It's been a wild third quarter.
Swakalo Bullock always has a look on his face, like he does not believe what's going on. But not in like an upset way, just in like he's a bit incredulous.
Ruspatch. Tay Hardy. Not enough mustard on that. And it will be Dan Greta. He's, surprise, surprise, he's looking to push.
Controlling the glass, this guy is too.
Yeah, he certainly is. Yates wants it. He had position, didn't have the angle. Did Murphy? Left it behind to Greta.
Well, that was almost the back court.
Just like it was, the ball was looking like it was in the back court there. Scott for three, needs it, wants it, gets it.
I mean, it's just all hustle and grit right now. Campbell Scott steals, shoot it up again.
Gives it to Greta. He goes for three.
Oh, the back-to-back would have been phenomenal.
And it's Campbell Scott with the foul on Tobias Cameron.
So that's twice now, apparently, Campbell Scott's pushed Tobias Cameron to the floor. Tell him to go away.
He's the enforcer, is Campbell Scott.
He's not. Campbell Scott is not going for the. He's giving him the flop chat. He's calling him a flopper. And Tobias Cameron saying, "Yeah, see you later." Cameron going to go to the bench for a bit. Big couple of minutes here for the Hawks. Find a little bit of energy. If the Bulls would have been able to get a couple of those buckets there, I don't know if the Hawks get back in it. But it's back to 4 points now. The Hawks have belief again in what is a grindy, low-scoring affair.
Ryan gets the explanation he was after, by the looks, from undercard referee Danielle Couche.
Quick look at that foul total. Bulls are going to be in the bonus for the rest of this quarter. They have 3 fouls to give before getting to themselves. If I'm smashing the line, I'm lifting the defensive intensity right now. This is a chance to really push the foot down. This Hawks team doesn't have the depth they normally have. We're up 4. We can really enforce our will. Just roll the dice with some physicality to get those fouls and attack the rim, maybe get to the cup. So we're going to have a little bit of a delay here. I think there's an oil spot on the floor. So unfortunately, I think the young fellas aren't able to get the oil up with the towels.
They're going to need some sort of spray to get that up.
The oil comes from one of the players getting rubbed down before the game. Unless it's blood. Not really sure. We'll see. They're coming over to check things out.
So this Marcel Jones-led squad, he has been really good in that first half. He's got 10. Aquera is your leading scorer for the Bulls with 12. It's your large veggie pizza for $31.99. Sal's NBL deal using that QR code. For the Hawke's Bay Hawks, it's going to have to be Greta and Ball. Cowards for the game's leading scorer. He went down near the beginning of this third quarter with an apparent lower back injury. Maybe a hip. He just caught himself trying to go for a reverse. Limped off the court. And he looks like he is probably done for the game. Sam Bruggen calls his team over. Goes over a play. And Hawke's Bay, 5-4 on the season, play the Saints on Sunday in Welly. The Bulls looking to go to 7-3 with a win here on the road. And they've got this lead here of 4 points.
And Coward now in the locker room.
We've got tape issue.
Hey, we had to tape something down. Was there a board that was up?
I think so.
Just get a little nail. Tap, tap, taparoo. Get a hammer, hammer, hammer. Saw, saw, saw. Let's see what the Bulls have an answer after that slight delay. Marcel Jones back in the ball game.
Let's see what they can construct here with Ruspatch. Blogger. Can he do it? Yes, he can.
It's just too big. Too big on the block. Jacob Murphy trying to slow things down. They're going to have to go to a zone, and they're going to have to get to a full front there, because if he gets that catch on the dots there, it's going to be a bucket every time.
He goes to 11. So shout out Dan Greta. He's working on
double-double?
Yeah, 10 and 10 at the moment. Just one assist though.
Oh, geez, man. That's a bit harsh.
Yeah. He's going to have to get this assist game up.
Yeah, we can't put you in triple-double watch, so you get at least 5.
He only averages 2.5. Dan Greta per game.
4 seconds on the shot clock.
His ball going at Jones. Sees the double. Murphy for 3.
Got it off.
Wow, to clear some space. The escape dribble to the left. Tay Hardy going at Murphy. Blogger.
Just too big. The Bulls are just too big right now.
Marcel Jones on the putback.
The Hawks are fighting. There's plenty of fight in the Hawks, but man, they're giving up some size.
Guerra had the steal. I think it's going to be on Blogger. No, it's on Guerra with the reach in here. Just, yeah, got him on the hands and the arms. So that will be Hawks ball on the side. Jackson Ball would like it to be shooting.
Let's see. You might convince. I think he convinced him.
I think he did. I think he said he was in his steps. He'd gathered. He was going.
Heads up play, young fella. We had gathered.
He's 17.
Listen to that pregame interview. Did not sound like a 17-year-old.
He's going to Wisconsin to play for the Badgers.
At least none of the 17-year-olds I was hanging out with when I was 17. Of course, when I was 17, they were a bit older. And nice shot, Jackson Ball. Another one from the Chemist Warehouse. 4 points the difference.
Tobias Cameron. Hardy drives with the left. Stripped away.
Well, he really looks for that contact, trying to get the whistle. Instead, ends up being a turnover.
Murphy. Oh, he gets the runner.
Jacob Murphy has been aggressive off the bench, the lone scorer off the time in the first half for the Hawks. Look at that shot.
That is a tough shot.
It's like a 17-foot runner. Jacob Murphy knows that this Hawks team is trying to create some offense out of somewhere. It has been tough sledding in the second half.
Misses the foul shot from the Chemist Warehouse line.
Is that going to be a foul on Marcel Jones? That's going to be foul number 4.
I believe it is on Marcel Jones.
Tied up with Luka Yates.
It's foul number 2 on Marcel. If it is on him.
And more importantly, gets the Hawks closer to the bonus. They have not really been able to keep that scoreboard ticking over here in the third quarter. I mean, of course, they do have 13 points compared to the 6 for the Bulls. So the Bulls really the team that's struggling to find the net. But every little bit helps for a Hawks A team that's looking like it's going to be without Darnell Cowett for the rest of the game.
Swakala bullet. Show hard on him. Stolen away. Tobias Cameron read the play. Finds the lane and he finds the defense. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. Tobias Cameron with all smiles for the Bulls.
Well, really nice hustle by Tobias Cameron to read that and get across the court really quickly. Luka Yates being the classic big sin of reaching for the ball with his hands and not meeting it with his body. For those young players out there, when that ball goes into the post, you have to jump to it, make sure you catch it. If you just reach out, it opens up opportunities for steals like Tobias Cameron just created. Gets all the way to the cup to the Chemist Warehouse, hits the first, extends it to a 3-point lead and a chance to make it a 2-possession ball game if he can find his form on the second.
(56-52). Hawks ball. Plenty of time left in this third quarter.
There's been a lot of delays. We've had quite a few issues coming through.
Oh, the dunk from Luka Yates. Russ match went down.
The pace from Dan Greta finally pays off. Draws multiple defenders, and Luka Yates gets the flush. Get himself involved in the game offensively. The big fella is needed by the Hawks.
Blogger dropping it off. Tobias Cameron getting ball up.
Not a bad foul there by Jackson Ball, just his second personal. The defense a little bit out of position on that short roll catch. Gloger doing a nice job of drawing all defenders to him in the paint before finding the cutter for the finish. An opportunity. Cameron doesn't get it, but off to the Chemist Warehouse straight for 2.
Cameron at the line. They are 15 of 16. Now the Bulls 16 of 17 now. Just 7 trips to the Chemist Warehouse line for the Hawks in this game.
It really is the most important of their part of their offense today. Getting it done from the free throw stripe.
Nothing but net for Tobias Cameron on that one. And Tobias Cameron now, he moves up to 8 points. He is now 8 for 8 from the line.
That's wonder where he's getting those buckets from. Tobias Cameron, he's kept this scoreboard ticking over. 0 for 4 from the field, but hustling everywhere, but playing excellent defense. Hawks need some penetration in the half court. It's been tough to come by overall.
Under 3 to go in the third. Ball spinning, dropping it off. Greeter knocked by Marcel Jones. That'll be foul number 3 on him.
Greeter just stays kinetic, moving without the basketball. He could have just sat in the corner on Jackson Ball's drive and spin move, but instead he comes through the baseline, makes himself available.
He snuck in, didn't he? He's been really good on the baseline. He's one of those operators.
He spent a lot of time down there in the dunker spot today, and a nice find by Jackson Ball. You know, coming off that spin, sometimes you can get basket-centric, completely focused on the rim, but he kept his eyes head on the swivel and found his teammate cutting. Greeter really needs these free throws to drop. Hits the first. 58 to 55 now.
No, Darnell Cowart went down injured at the start of this quarter with an apparent lower back injury. So it's Greeter at the line. Rare opportunity for the Hawks from the Chemist Warehouse line. He splits the pair. Bulls lead is 3. Here's Tobias Cameron. Not strong for Glogger, but he manages to corral it. Now he just goes one-on-one with Yates, and he gets the roll. Just bread and butter for the big man.
Just a little bit too easy for Glogger on that second opportunity. Yates never closed that distance, let him get all the way back to the paint before bodying it up, enabling that angle for the hook shot finish.
Greeter wants it, ball hesitant, finds Yates up high. Looking for the cutter, goes himself. Oh, good defense. Tobias Cameron crashing out of bounds.
Heck of a save, created the angle, and putting the sides back up. Good Samaritan as well, what a citizen.
Shot Tobias Cameron.
Talking to the fans in the boxes. Oh, that's good parenting. That's good parenting there. Definitely on the bomb side.
Give Teddo some love.
PC's all right.
He was good, man.
Well, just 1.7 seconds to get a shot off. Looking like they wanted Campbell Scott coming over the top, but they go with his double curl action quite often from here.
Down low to Ball on that curl. Yates.
I thought Yates might have been fouled there. The whistle doesn't come. Nice job by the Bulls to stick with it, finish the play with a rebound.
Cameron. Oh, the look away. And it's Greeter who has it. Vano, I think, tried to foul him, but it's Greeter with the and one. Vano tried to recover, and he fouled Greeter on the layup.
Just look at the persistence of Dan Greeter. Forces his way through. Vano catches up, is going up for the dunk. Last thing you want to do is create an N1 opportunity. Sebastian Grime not happy about that. And Dan Greeter has had his foot on the accelerator in transition on every possession. Hasn't always worked out, but that pressure comes in just in time to give him the three-point opportunity, which he finishes from the Chemist Warehouse stripe. A 2-point game with under 2 minutes to play in the third. I like that sub by Sam Grogan there. Says, you know what, why don't you sit here for a second, Dan? I don't want you to get foul number 4.
Still a chunk of time left in this third quarter. What can they do defensively here? Blogger again on the low block, going at Yates. going across the lane, and it's Tay Hardy on the glass. Gloger had it knocked away by Carter. And more Hawks defense, desperate defense.
I love how the work rate.
Yates on the reverse, ties it up at 60.
Just the effort of this Hawks Bay team. They're undersized, they're undermanned, but they are working together. They're on a string defensively, and they're grinding away and tied this one back up.
Cameron with the right hand going left. Swakala Bullock going to the cup. And it's going to be Okwera called for the foul, is it?
I think that's a foul on the shot. Swakala Bullock goes down again. He was here not too long ago. At the end of the first half, after a bit of aerial contact.
Swakala Bullock. Great season in Illawarra. Teammate of Dan Greeters. He's run up to Shea Ely in the Defensive Player of the Year last season. NBL 25 in Australia. It's 16 points against Melbourne United in Game 5.
Well, he's a tremendous defender.
Just low-key got 4 championships.
Just low-key.
As he's coming up through the ranks of the development player.
I get a couple with Sydney. Not too bad. Always good to...
He's got 2 in Perth, 1 in Sydney, and 1 in Illawarra.
1 in Sydney, okay. 2 in Perth. Well, he's just a tremendous defender. Multi-positional. And this league can basically go 1 to 5 against most players.
They got the lead.
They're back into it. I mean, it hasn't been pretty offensively, but it's been uglier for the Bulls.
They've really put the clamps down on the Bulls here, who've only got 12 points. Hawke's Bay have got 23. And the main offense has been Gloger down low, and this time he can't get it to go either. So 2 empty possessions from the Bulls in recent history.
That's strong.
That is so strong. Little bit off to the left, and the Bulls survived that one. 30 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Bulls really trying to score before that defense gets set. In the half court, it's been a struggle for them.
Pull-up, contested. More Hawks defense.
They're going to have the last shot of the quarter now. Looks like it's going to be a Jackson Ball, Luka Yates pick and roll.
Shot clock is off. Down to 7, Campbell Scott. Gives it to Ball, 3 to shoot. Puts it up over Tay Hardy. And that'll do us for the third quarter. Hawke's Bay, despite losing their big, Darnell Cowart, they have a skinny lead here of 62 to 60. And Rodney Green Arenas will be back shortly. Hello to TikTok, and for the last time in this game, we're talking to you directly.
I'm gonna let the TikTok chat in. One little secret. Pero Cameron did not like my joke about parenting. He texted me and told me I'm an egg.
Yeah, you are an egg. Pero Cameron is a great father to his boys.
He is. He's a fantastic dad.
I hope Pero's listening on TikTok as well.
Yeah, if he is, I'm probably going to get another text about being an egg soon.
You're lucky he's over in the Gold Coast, right?
You're not wrong. Nah, if I was in the Gold Coast, Janelle would have my back. I'd be okay.
Yeah, true.
Well, a really nice quarter there by the Hawks, grinding their way back into it. Holding, as you mentioned in the broadcast, the Bulls to just 12 points. This offense of the Bulls can go away. They didn't get to the line as much in that third quarter, making things difficult. Down the stretch here, I think the Hawks have enough despite not having Darnell Cowart in the lineup.
Yeah, no Darnell Cowart on the bench. He must be getting treatment in the changing rooms. Let us know on TikTok in the comments who you think's going to win this game. And we hope you enjoy the fourth quarter at Rodney Green Arenas in Hawke's Bay. Welcome back to Rodney Green Arenas, Hawke's Bay, Napier, Hastings, Havelock North, Tatterdale. It's all happening for the Hawks fans here. And who is your game MVP? And Dan Greeter, Ethan Runspatch, and David Okwera. You're tied at 20%. You can use that QR code to vote. And go to mixandpick.com as well. Dan Greeter is going to have to do some heavy lifting here. Jackson Ball's got 10 points and 2 rebounds. Those 2 rebounds didn't come until late in the third quarter. Got some great defense in that third quarter on the Bulls.
Well, Dan Greeter should be pretty well rested. He's only played 15 minutes up to this point because of the foul trouble. Gregan's been able to get a lot of minutes out of other guys without him. No Coward, he's got 13 points, didn't score in that third quarter. Let's see if the Hawks have a few more answers with their big gun on the bench with that lower back injury.
Tay Hardy, it's a 4-on-2, and Hardy just goes at them. Yates with the board.
Yates is going to be so important on the glass, both offensively and defensively.
Ball squaring up, missing that.
Not a bad look, but he hasn't been able to find the measure. That's 2 for 6 from behind the arc now.
Marcel Jones stepped out. That's a rare turnover in this game, just the 9th for the Bulls. The Hawks have 8. That's another empty possession for the Bulls.
Yeah, the Bulls have been able to string it together. They're undersized, but the communication has been good. Kobe Carr has actually been on the bench for a while. He went out with an injured ankle, limped down the court. Be interesting to see if he's done for the day as well. We're thinning that bench even more.
We got a foul.
You know what? I like that little extra foul by Ethan Rusbatch there. The play was over, and Dan Greeter's just saying, "Oh, I'm going to get this in," and Rusbatch says, "No, I'm not going to let you get your eye in. I'm just going to give you an extra hack after the hack."
Last time the Bulls scored was 2:41 to go in the third quarter. So it's been almost 4 minutes since they've had a field goal, and that was a Glogger post move. Tough inbound pass, and they're going to get a bucket here surely. Aguera gets the layup. So they went 4 minutes scoreless, and they've tied it up.
These unforced errors for both teams have really been putting a lot of stress on the coaching staffs. Just unable to counter this physicality defensively of both squads.
Greeter, how's that not a walk? Doesn't matter. Sebastian Gleim is incredulous. Where is the call? He didn't get it.
Some kind of whistle. A travel, a block, a foul. Just call something.
Rusbatch turning the corner with the right hand. Ethan Rusbatch, calm as you like.
Second bucket of the day, now 2 for 8 from the field, but he makes that one look pretty, so pretty.
Ball, late whistle. And Jackson Ball will head to the line to shoot 2. Is that going to be on Aguera? If it is, that's his 4th. Jones has 3, Hardy has 3 as well. Greeter on the other side of the ledger for the Hawks has 3.
And there's your answer. Straight to the bench goes Aguera. A bit more positionally balanced for the Hawks now. Yates now becomes the biggest player on the court. And Aguera has been good offensively, but defensively, I think he causes a lot of problems with his athleticism and switchability down low. Big shot by Jackson Ball there to extend the lead. I've loved his aggressiveness today. That was his 12th shot. He's only made 3 of them. But I like the fact that he's being a bit more aggressive, especially here in the second half, to try and carry this Hawks team home.
Hawks with this 2-point lead. Low scoring, 66-64, 8 to go. Hardy has it blocked by Yates. Hardy just wants a call.
Well, just a good aggressiveness by Campbell Scott stays with him the entirety of the way. Yeah, there's physicality there, but he's keeping his hands out, he's moving his feet, and he's getting back in front of the dribbler when he can. And he does so to enough of an effect that it opened up that shot blocking opportunity for Yates from the weak side.
Marcel Jones was wide open underneath, but they go to Glogger. A little further out this time.
That hug shot's a lot tougher against Yates than it is against the guards that have been guarding him.
Greeter high off the glass. Glogger with a great pass. Here's Tobias Cameron. Puts it down.
Tobias Cameron with the flush in transition. First field goal of the day.
10 for him. He's got 3 rebounds and 4 assists. He's been really, really good for the Bulls. Greeter gets another and one opportunity. Dan Greeder with 18 now. He's taken a couple of rebounds off him as well, Casey.
What?
Yeah, he's down to 8.
That's crazy. Well,
He was 10 and 10.
well, he's gonna have to work for that double-double, but he doesn't have to work for that beautiful left-handed scoop shot. 18 points now. As the Hawks take the 2-point lead, Greeder's been efficient from the field. 8 for 12 overall, and 8 for 11 from inside the arc. He's only taken the one triple. And that's got him at the top of the MVP voting along with Ethan Rusbatch. That sounds like family. And Ethan Rusbatch. But what a contest. Greeder's just really, he's been undeniable. He continues to just force his way into the ball game. He's got a plus-minus of 13 overall for the Hawks. Foul trouble kept him to the bench for quite a while, and that enabled the Bulls to really solidify that lead. But when he's been on the court, he's been pretty much the best player out there.
Well, I want to give Ethan Rusbatch some love then, because he's got 5 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists.
MVP numbers in your estimation?
Well, I'm just saying that he deserves to be in the conversation. That's all. I feel as though he's had an impact across the floor.
Yeah.
You just expect him to hit threes.
Well, no, I do not think. Well, if we're going to be honest, 5 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. I don't know if it's an MVP impact.
Well, this has been a grinding, low-scoring game.
You know what? You're right. You've convinced me, Bolts.
0 turnovers.
Okay, 5 assists from Ethan Rusbatch. You know what I do like is a guy who's been traditionally known as a scorer, going out there facilitating for his teammates. Even though the shot's not dropping right now, finding other ways to do it.
I've really enjoyed the fact that this game, as Greeder makes the 3-point play opportunity count from the Chemist Warehouse line, they've had 2 guys, Campbell Scott and Ethan Rusbatch, come in who attempt 10 or 11 threes a game, and they've had a lid kept on them. Both ends of the floor, both teams do a really good job coming into this game. As we have a turnover here, as Tay Hardy felt the bump, and it's just been that kind of game for Tay Hardy. He just hasn't been able to get anything going. They've kept a lid on him.
Murphy doing a good job of not leaving him alone, but pulling his physicality in and out, not being there when Hardy's trying to lean on him, pulling that chair out, so to speak, just a little bit, making it a much more difficult maneuver for him to navigate on that penetration. Murphy's been huge off the bench. His energy's been great. He's got 4 points. That bench got a little bit more active in the second half. Campbell Scott with 3, Kobe Carr with 2, but Jacob Murphy, especially with a few players not available, has been really important in this Hawks lineup today.
Put him in the MVP conversation.
Why not?
There he is with the ball.
Everybody get a trophy. Participation like.
Everyone gets a certificate. Player of the game rotates throughout the season. Still stays with the Hawks. We have a 3-point lead. 69-66. Ball. Left it behind.
Really nice hand by Tay Hardy. Jackson Ball hustling with it though. Who gets it up? Shot clock's at 0.
And that'll be a turnover. Good hustle. Tobias Cameron in the mix again as well.
Nice job by the score bench there, not resetting the shot clock, because no one had possession. If they reset that, the Hawks, then they suddenly have 24 to get through there. But they realized that nobody really got their hands on it, so it doesn't reset. Franklin Bulls pull out the stop because of it.
So Sam Grogan without Darnell Cowett. He's big.
Darnell Cowett played 17 minutes for 13 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists before going down with a lower back injury. This is been a lot of stop-start action. It's been a bit choppy. Tay Hardy.
Again, it's Jacob Murphy with the defense. Hardy is asking, why can I not get a whistle? Just has been that type of game. Not just on Tay Hardy, but on everyone. Look at the defense on Tobias Cameron. As he goes across the lane, finds Hardy.
Marcel
Jones has it. Puts it up and in. Marcel Jones with 12 off the bench for the Bulls.
Right
His
place,
years of experience.
right time. Marcel Jones.
He's 39. He's in his 14th NBL season.
Tip of the cap, young fella. Tip of the cap, 39. I'll give you a little secret. Starts to get old really hard at 39. It all starts to get really hard
well, he's
on the basketball court.
He's making it look easy. Marcel Jones. He's played for the Jets, the Saints, the Rams, the Rangers, the Huskies, the Airs, and now the Bulls. And the Sales NBL.
Have game, will travel.
I need the time to go through the multiple countries he played in.
I know you want to. Maybe we'll get a
No, I won't do it every game. But if I get an opportunity, I will read them. Great defense from Tay Hardy, better offense.
Monty Swakalo Bullock showing him the range, just too tall for Tay Hardy's defense to really matter on that contest.
Ruspatch. Everybody down at the moment as Yates went down and took out Greeter in the 4.
Could be
in the game.
Foul on Yates on the shot for Ethan Ruspatch. Comes a little.
Nobody can help anybody out. Someone help Dan Greeter up.
Oh, Dan Greeter said, somebody, give me a hand. And I think some of his teammates started clapping.
So it's Ruspatch after all of this, who will head to the Chemist Warehouse line to shoot 2 shots. That'll be the first team foul on Hawke's Bay with 5.5 to go. The Bulls have 3 team fouls.
Ruspatch 1 for 1 from the Chemist Warehouse stripe today. Great time to let you know that every free throw made at the Chemist Warehouse stripe goes into the pot to build a hoop in a school or park near you, thanks to the BB&Z Hoops in Schools program in conjunction with Chemist Warehouse, putting hoops in communities in need.
Good for both was Ethan Ruspatch, so it's the Hawks. It's just a skinny 1-point lead. Ball against Hardy. That has been a tough matchup. 2 shots coming for Jackson Ball.
And Tay Hardy's really making Jackson Ball work with that dribble, but Jackson Ball's recognition that he's got that size advantage, that he can take it to the cup and make things difficult. Tay Hardy picks up foul number 4 on that play, which may be of more import than anything else. Jackson Ball, I've loved his aggressiveness getting to the cup. Doesn't hit the first from the Chemist Warehouse stripe there. He was 4 for 4 from the free throw line prior to that miss.
They weren't getting to the line at all, really, in that first half. They've made 17 trips overall now. Makes the second, 72-70.
This Bulls team, in their first meeting, was without Greeter, Cowart, and Yates. And they were up big, but that Hawke's Bay squad, they did the same thing. They worked their way back in the second half to eventually win that game going away. And that script is looking like it's repeating itself.
That's good. Long 2 from Tay Hardy.
Well, maybe not, says Tay Hardy.
That was an 87-85 game back in March. A 2-point win to the Bulls. It's a low-scoring game again. Yates sees the double. Swakalo Bullock can't get that 3 to go. Murphy just mistimed an offensive rebound opportunity. And a whistle. And we've got some blood, I think, on Tobias Cameron in the corner there. Bradley Clive has spotted something on Cameron. You just see in the corner.
He's, I'm sure I'm not bleeding.
He's got, well, he has been all over the floor. He has got a rather large bandage on him in that right leg as he walks off. He's got a slight limp to it as well.
I think that's just a G-walk.
Okay, sorry, man.
That's just a Steelio.
Oh, right. Did he get that from his dad?
Pira had a G-walk for sure, but I think a slightly different gait.
Did you get it from Pero lately?
Yeah.
Tay Hardy left it short. Yates cleans it up. We're all locked up at 72. Here's Greeter. What kind of say can he have on this game? He's going to go Adokwera, who gives him room, comes in with the finish, sweeping in.
21 points for Dan Greta now with the left. Cuts across the defense. Second line of defense doesn't step up. Gives him the angle for that finish on the reverse.
Tay Hardy going at Jacob Murphy. Glogger sets the screen. Marcel Jones feeling it, knocking it down. What a game from Marcel Jones. He's got 15, he's 6 of 8.
Let him know about it, Marcel. Putting together a game here off the bench. The Bulls needing some inspiration. And the 39-year-old Marcel Jones, I think he might be the oldest player in the league. He is not playing like it. He is fresh as a daisy. The game comes correct.
Lebanon, Uruguay, Australia, Germany, Finland, Hungary, UK, Syria, Bosnia, Romania, Italy, Turkey, Kosovo, Slovenia, Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, 19 countries. He's played in 39 years of age in his 14th NBL season.
6 for 8 from the field, 15 points, 3 of 4 from behind the arc. He's got 5 rebounds. He's got a steal and a plus-minus of plus 14 after that bucket there.
And they lead now. It's Tay Hardy and the Bulls have found themselves in probably an expected arm wrestle against the Hawke's Bay Hawks team, who are hanging tough here in the second half without Darnell Cowart. Went down early on in the third quarter with an apparent back injury. They won't play again for another 6 days, the Bulls, against the Nuggets. They'll host the Nuggets at Franklin Fulton Leisure Centre. The Hawks play again on Sunday in Wellington against the Saints.
It'll be a quick turnaround for this Hawk squad, because this is the type of game that takes a lot out of you. 1 point, the deficit. Ball in the hand of Jackson Ball. Where will the Hawks go for the bucket?
They're meeting with a double team, straight up high. Jackson Ball looking for somebody to get free. Finds Yates, under 5 now. Jackson Ball needs to get it up. Give him some room. Off to the right, Jackson Ball just not feeling himself with the jump shot today.
Ball's pretty fortunate. That's a really nice look. Jackson Ball matched up with Adokwera. Didn't have the foot speed to stay with that step back.
Here's Rusbatch. Now the Bulls are in trouble with the shot clock. Down to 3. Tobias Cameron goes bang.
Jacob Murphy goes under the screen and gives Cameron the space to step back. A late contest does not dissuade the shot. 4-point lead after the big bucket from Tobias Cameron.
Lead of 4. Here's Swakalo Bullock getting around the defense.
Ethan Rusbatch is pretty fortunate not to be an N1. Grabs him as he's going around the corner there and lets him go by for the easy layup.
Shot clock at 15 in the venue. Now it's down to 12. Rusbatch up high, left it behind him. Jackson Ball pokes it away. That should be Bulls' ball still. The Hawks.
No, I think that's going with the Hawks. We'll see.
Adamant, it's their ball.
And it looks like it will stay down on this side. I thought Ethan Rusbatch got that last. Tough to tell in the scrum.
Both teams have their BNZ player timeouts available. With 2:20 to go. And whose ball will it be? I think it's going to be to the Hawks.
Yeah, I think at the last minute there, Ethan Rusbatch gets his hand on it, trying to save it. Just didn't quite have the handle. What an opportunity here for the Bulls to get a stop, but this Hawks Bay squad needs to find a way to get Dan Green and the ball going to the basket with a little bit of momentum.
Southland and Nelson to come tonight. And a triple header tomorrow in the Sal's NBL. We've got a game on our hands here though. Hawks down 2 with the ball. Jackson Ball.
No Tay Hardy still on the bench.
Greeter lost the handle. Ran into Blogger there.
Nice move. Really nice split there. Gets through, but just can't get the ball.
Ran into the Berlin wall.
Blogger wasn't in a great position. If Greeter had possession of the ball and gone up and gotten that same contact. That Berlin wall might have not been able to stand up quite as strongly.
78-76. Bulls ball. Crosspatch, ball right up on him. Tay Hardy going to back down Murphy. Put some moves on. Goes underneath with the left. Gets the roll. Tay Hardy, he has earned that this afternoon.
It's just basically paused underneath for a little bit. 15 points for him now. Just 6 of 17 from the field, but a big one there.
Okwera just gives them too much room.
That's all day, baby. Little mid-ranger with a high arc. Rita drains that to stay close. 23 points for him now.
Huge position here in the scheme of this game. Bulls working the shot clock, which is down to 7. Hardy sees a double, lost the handle, gets it back, needs to put it up. He knows it, he steps through, and he banks it in. Tay Hardy took the game over by the scruff of the neck here, and the Hawks call time.
What a shot by Tay Hardy. Just excellent awareness, knows exactly where the shot clock is. Looking down at the other end, this footwork, the step up. Murphy goes for the shot fake. Tay Hardy lets the Hawks bench know what he's made of. Made for these moments at the end of the game. Tay Hardy hits the bucket, now 17 points. 7 for 18 from the field. The degree of difficulty on that make was high, and it's a 4-point lead with just over a minute to play.
He's only got 8% of the game MVP vote, but he's had 2 huge buckets here down the stretch for the Bulls. And will it be enough? Offense has been hard to come by for both teams. 40% from the floor for the Bulls, 45 for the Hawks. And a timeout from Sam Gruggan and the Hawke's Bay Hawks, down 4.
I love what the Hawks do on their sideline and out of bounds plays, though. They have some of the best quick hitters in the competition last year and this. So they should be able to get a nice clean look. The question is, do you want to go for a 3 to put some pressure back on the Bulls, or do you go for 2 and keep playing this trading bucket game? I personally wouldn't mind trying to find a 3-point shot here. Just try and change up this rhythm of making Tay Hardy feel comfortable coming down to get that last second too. And we'll see what the Hawks decide coming out of it. And look at that foul count. That's pretty important as well. Next foul for the Bulls puts the Hawks to the line, but if the Hawks need the foul, they're going to have to get 4 more to put the Bulls in the bonus.
Still have a BNZ player timeout each, do these teams. 73 seconds to go. It will be Jacob Murphy to get us underway. Shot clock at 14 after they advance the ball. Here's Campbell Scott. Quiet night from deep for him.
Nice play.
Rather. Great play. Gets open. Too strong. On the tip. It will fall back to Ball. Murphy for 3. Back of the iron. And who else but Tobias Cameron tracking that rebound down.
Well,
Hawks Bay need to foul.
I don't think so. Not at this point. Shot clock's going too far. Need a solid possession and stop.
They've only got 1 team foul. Here's Tay Hardy looking to ice the game. And he'll go to the line to do it.
Just can't keep Tay Hardy in front of you once he's determined to get to the cup. 3rd straight possession. It has just been on this man. Put it in my hands and I will find something for you. That's Swakalo Bullock, I think, from behind, gets a hand on. Good contest, makes it a difficult shot, but back to the Chemist Warehouse stripe goes Tay Hardy. He's 3 for 3 from the stripe today. And if he hits 2 here, that is going to be a 2 3-point made ball game for the Hawks to get back in it.
It has been the Tay Hardy game to end it for the Bulls in this fourth quarter. He's taken over. He was frustrated through large parts of this game.
It just wasn't getting a lot of activity. Hits the first from the Chemist Warehouse, but when they need him most, he steps up and puts him on his back.
I like it. He knew he wasn't going to get the calls, no matter how much he protested, so he just decided, I'll force them to make the calls, and he misses one.
Player timeout called by Dan Greta.
Interesting. Still a two-possession game.
But I like calling a timeout there because the thing you need most is time, and that saves time. That best comes to best as we see the BNZ player timeout ticket to the game. Use that QR code, but if they dribble that up, that's going to be a 12-second play. You're going to be down to 28 seconds. It's going to be tough. This way, another quick hitter may possibly run the same play again. Your biggest ally, the one you need most on your side, is time. So the Hawks trying to extend that just a bit.
They had a really nice play out of that timeout. Jackson Ball in the corner, couldn't get the hit. Murphy on the other side now. What do they run here? Do they run the same play? Murphy looking to Greta.
Oh, look at that set.
Oh, that is a foul.
Foul on the three-pointer.
Yeah, Tobias Cameron got him on the body.
That was a beautiful set, by the way. The fade screen for the catch. Looks like you're setting up Greta to get that catch, but it was all set up for Campbell Scott to come off that flare on the catch. Greta over there, look at this up high. Jackson Ball doesn't actually set the screen. If he does, there might be some space. Cameron with the contact as Greta's defender, the perpetrator of the whistle.
Campbell Scott at the line.
Cannot hit it.
Misses the first.
Had to have it. Does not get it now.
What do you do here, Casey?
Well, you got to make the next two. Get it back to 80. It's still a one-possession ball game. With 40 seconds in a one-possession game, I'm starting to foul to get it to that point, but I'm not putting him on the line yet.
It'll be timeout for the Bulls here, Sebastian Gleim.
Well, the interesting decision here for Sebastian Gleim is, does he put it in the front court and only give himself 14 seconds on the shot clock, or does he open up his team to some pressure in the full court and take the other full 24? My preference is to take the 24 and down, trust your team to get the ball in bounds. But the Hawks have good defenders. They forced some turnovers being played up and in previously this afternoon. Could happen again.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they get the ball to Tay Hardy, how much of a denial they can force on that as well. I hope you're enjoying this on your Anzac Day in Aotearoa. It's been a heck of a game. A minute's silence before we came to air in the venue to commemorate what is a special day for New Zealand and Australia in this part of the world.
Just a quick look at the free throw shooting for the players in the ball game. Well, the starting lineup has only missed 2 free throws entirely. Tay Hardy 4 for 5 and Till Gloger 3 for 4. Other than that, there's another 13 makes from the starters. They have had their eye in. Marcel Jones is on the court for that last time, and Tobias Cameron's place. We'll see if he stays in there on this offensive possession. Where's the ball? Looks like they're bringing it up to the half court.
Dan Greta and the Hawks. Can they force something here out of the Bulls?
And they do bring it up to the half court. Because of this, with should be 14 seconds on the shot clock now. Well, it stayed at 24. No, there it is. Up, it's to 14 now. If I'm the Hawks, I might try and defend here without fouling whatsoever.
Scott on Hardy. Shot clock at 6. Hardy goes at 2. Looking for some space, he can't get it. Good defense.
Oh my.
Even better offense from Tay Hardy.
Oh my.
Naquante says you're too little.
Oh my. What a performance down the stretch from Tay Hardy. Just every possession, give it to me, get out of the way. Up fake, too bad. Good defense, too bad. I'm hitting nothing but net. And then I'm hitting you with the too small. It's a classic too small. First the little one, but then he hits him with the Clifton Bush. In Hawke's Bay, no less.
Tay Hardy has been everything for the Bulls down the stretch.
He's up to 20 points. That's 7 straight for Tay Hardy in this last minute of the ball game. Five points the difference, 24 seconds left. Timeout to the Hawks, so they're going to bring the ball up to the front court. And we've seen 2 fantastic plays for him on the sideline out of bounds already. I can't wait to see when they dig a little deeper what comes out now. But you have to have a 3 here, obviously. You can't go for the 2-point shot again. Got to get a 3, and then you have to foul 3 times in quick succession.
85-80. Greta and Ball. What can they execute here? They've had a couple of great sets out of stop ball situations. This time it's Yates to trigger us on the opposite side from the previous position. He's looking at options.
Oh, that's a quick 5.
That's a very quick 5.
They were slow to develop that on the catch, though. Swakalo Bullock took a little bit of time to get out. Luka Yates, the inbounder. Not often you see coaches go with the big man as the passer. And this time, unfortunately, it backfires for the Hawks, who call a player timeout.
That's how Jones calls it.
Well, that was surprising for me, because if you get the ball in bounds there, you can basically run the clock out. They're going to have to foul. They're just going to foul the second the ball gets in bounds. But, you know, always a good time to talk about the BNZ player timeout and give you an opportunity to get a ticket to the big game back at home. Use that QR code and get in for a chance to win tickets to this season's games up and down the country. All thanks to BNZ, inspiring that next generation of Kiwi baller.
Make sure you get this ball in quickly, given how fast that 5-second call was. Jones finds Rospatch, and he's fouled. Jackson Ball thought he might have just poked it out, but that'll be the 3rd team foul.
A couple more to go, but the best part about that was not much time off the clock. And here's an area where you can get in passing lanes.
Jackson Ball, that's his 4th. And then Campbell Scott, he fouls. That's just his 3rd, 4th team foul. Next one coming up will be shots for the Bulls.
Well, it's showing 4 fouls here, but just making sure it's a bit of a free huddle. I think the Bulls thought the free throw was already happening.
Now it's Jones up a little bit higher where the foul occurred by half court. Don't want to foul before it's inbounded. Get to Aguera. Aguera is a 77% foul shooter from the Chemist Warehouse line this season.
And in today's game, he's 2 for 2. Crowd looking for a little bit of a disruption. You can't find it.
In automatic on that one, Aguera. Perth Wildcat.
He signs at the club after the 2-way option was opted out of. Nice to see him back in red.
Knocks the 2nd down.
No timeouts left for the Hawks.
And then it'll be a turnover, and that will do it. Franklin Bulls come in and just survive Hawke's Bay here. 87-80. Sebastian Gleim An offensive foul from Tay Hardy.
Not done yet, and that's fouled out. Tay Hardy's done.
He is 20 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists for Naquante Hardy. 7 straight points down the stretch for those Okwera free throws. He iced the game for the Bulls. And the Hawks will fall to 5-5 on the season. And the Bulls improve to 7-3.
It's not done yet. Miracles happen every once in a while.
Is Tracy McGrady in the building?
Oh, there you go, miracle. Dan Greta picks up the foul there. As Luka Yates tries to push the ball through a defender.
We'll get some Tobias Cameron foul shots to send you on your way. Cameron, he's had a big influence on this game. He's got 14 points. Shout out to David Okwera as well. 16 points, 14 rebounds. Rita on the other side for the Windsor Hawks. 23 and 10 for him. He gets that double-double. It's Tobias Cameron will dribble it out.
Got to shoot it. Got to go for the points percentage.
88-80. The Bulls get the dub. An 8-point win. And Ethan Rusbatch and the Bulls get one on the road. And they get a good rest before they play the Nuggets on May 1st. And on behalf of Casey Frank and the Sky Sport team, thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Don't forget, Giant Sharks coming up soon on Sky Sport.